got different music. We decided to switch it up a little bit, put some blues in the background as we begin today because, I don't know, maybe somebody's got the blues out there and they just needed to hear that.
Possible.
It's possible. I think we'll figure out before the end of the show that somebody's a little happy about something that's happened to their team, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that, ladies and gentlemen. So
Quite.
All right. Thank you all very much for tuning in to the Lights Out Sports Podcast with myself, Mike Valentine, and my buddy Cheese right there. Cheese, let's plug this thing early. You have a YouTube channel and you have an X account. Tell me what they are, bud.
Yeah, YouTube is at Football with Cheese, CHEEZ. Last 2 days I just did the most underrated players at every position. Offense was on Monday. Today I did defense. And yeah, you can follow me on X at Football Cheese without the with. So yeah.
All right, excellent. I appreciate that. I am now scouring to make sure that we are actually broadcasting on Twitter because we have had some problems with that here lately. It does not look like we are, so give me a second here. So for those of you who are with us and you're trying to do the X thing, you need to go to your home, or excuse me, you need to go to your profile page where everything pops up. You can click on the spot on our spot there where it says live, but I will post it up here real fast. You just got to give me a second to remember how to do it.
So if you're on X, go to All Gloves Off SM, and just click on the logo where there's a circle that says live, pink circle. Just click on that. You'll be able to watch us live. I'm not sure why it doesn't link anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure why either. We gotta get our buddy Ricky on this, but I know.
If you're on YouTube, make sure you give this button that looks like this, the thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you do that. And subscribe to both of us if you have not. And hit that bell for notification so you never miss one of our videos.
All right, so we are on Twitter right now, so we're good there. Appreciate that. I know you guys are hanging out with us and making sure we do everything correctly, and we are, so we're good. The other thing that we're going to do right the moment, let's get into some of this other stuff here as I click back out and go into some other windows and come back with all of you. All right. As we've already stated, we got some comments up here. We love it when you comment, just like it says below. Oh, look, one of our faithful. Thank you very much, Roman. We certainly appreciate it. And as we will continue to go on here, we tell you that the first thing that we're going to do is the 5 Flamin' 5 in 5. As soon as I can get to it here we need a production manager. That's what we need. But the problem is we can't pay anybody anything. So nobody wants to work for free. I don't understand.
Yeah, we can pay in positive energy.
There you go. I like that. We can pay in positive energy. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So, Cheese, I haven't seen you for a week. How you been, buddy?
Been busy. Got some good news about an hour ago. So I'm in a good mood. I'm not grumpy.
Right.
I'm usually grumpy sometimes. I've been grumpy a lot lately, because Matt LaFleur got retained. But I'm in a pretty good mood. How are you?
Well, it's busy. And I'm really living up to one of my sayings. I'll sleep when I'm dead. So,
okay.
It's been a little whirlwindish, but we're all put together. We got everything in front of us. I'm really looking forward to the show. Should be a great one. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain to you how we're going to do this. The 5 Flamin' 5 has changed a little bit. If you weren't with us last week. Instead of me just blowing up poor Cheese all the time, it's going to happen one of these days, and I really don't want it to. This, of course, is Season 2, Episode 2. We'll put that on our moniker here in a little bit because some dummy who set everything up forgot to do it. So Season 2, Episode 2. And when we jumped into Season 2, we decided to do the 5 Flamin' 5 and 5 a little different. So if Cheese can get all 5 of these questions right in the 5 minutes with all the flames around him, because, flames are just cool, then we're going to do an extra question for him. As most of you know, there's not a ton going on in college football right the moment. But if Cheese gets these 5 and 5, then we're going to do one college football question. We'll move on to MLB. And then, of course, we will bring up the rear of the show with our NFL talk. All right. So, Chiefs,
Yes.
the question is, are you ready?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. So, let's see here. 2 football receiver questions, 2 baseball questions, and 1 Packer question at the end. So that's what you're gonna be up against here. Give you a little bit. All right.
Okay.
So the timer will start at the 5-minute mark when I read the first question, buddy. Here we go.
Okay.
Mike Trout has said he wants to go back to center field. Has he earned the right to be able to tell the Angels where he wants to play?
This is such a tricky question, because sometimes guys just their defense declines. I have not looked up his metrics on defense, but I know he's not nearly as good as he used to be in the outfield. And if he's not the best of all their position players, if he's not the best defensive center fielder, then he should not be out there. Is he earned it? Some people might say he has, because he's Mike Trout, but you should not put a player, no matter who he is, no matter if he's Babe Ruth, in a position where you're worse defensively, your team. If he's better in right or left or wherever, and someone else is better in center, then he should be there, and he should do that for his team. So maybe he's earned the right. I still think it's the wrong move if you have a better defensive center field.
All right. Mike Evans is our second question. Mike Evans announced earlier today that he will come back for his 13th season in the NFL. So, Cheese, you being the big draft expert that you are, if I pick a receiver, I'm not even sure if Mike Evans was picked in the first round. You'll probably know the answer to that. Yes, I figured he was.
Top 10, yeah.
Okay, so if you let's do it that way. If you pick a top 10 receiver, how many years do you expect him to be in the NFL?
Oh yeah, at least 10. You know, Julio Jones, AJ Green. You need them to be not only good, they need to be a number 1, and they need to play a long time for you. You need to be Pro Bowler like Mike Evans. Consistent, played a long time. This past year he got hurt, but most of the time he's not. So yeah, you need to play at least a decade.
At least a decade, okay. Also today, sir, Robert Woods announced his retirement from the NFL. He signed a 1-day contract with the Rams today. I'm sure you saw all of that. Where would you put Robert Woods? Is he elite? Is he great? Or is he good?
He's good. He's a very good route runner. Never had a lot of speed. He was just like he was a good number 2, you know. And toward the end, he probably played 2 years too long. He really couldn't really separate the last couple of years. I'm not sure why he was even on a roster this past year. He just, you know, some of these guys just, you know, they never have speed, and once they lose even a little of it, they're just too slow to separate. But he's, you know, I like watch him in college. Second round pick, good route runner. Yeah, good number 2, so good career, but you know, he's not great.
Okay. The Fox Sports announced that they're going to have 3 guys that are going to do their introduction part, you know, for the Sunday night football, or excuse me, the Sunday night baseball. I'm looking forward to this, but I want to know which one of these guys you're looking most forward to hearing on the pregame coverage of NBC's. I think I said Fox a minute ago. NBC's Sunday night baseball coverage. You got Clayton Kershaw, you got Anthony Rizzo, and you have Joey Votto. Which one are you looking more forward to hearing their comments and takes on everything?
Well, I'm going to probably enjoy all 3 of them. Very good choices. But you know I'm going to say Rizzo just because he's going to tell some really good stories. He's going to, you know, make fun of people, but in a fun, positive way where they'll laugh back. There's a great interaction with him and Freddie Freeman when he's got him in a rundown, like during the play. Rizzo's just he's just always laughing, always positive. It's just, he's going to be so much fun on that broadcast. But I really look forward to Votto as well, too.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to Clayton from the pitcher side of it too. So I think, like you said earlier, all 3 of those guys will be great. But I don't want to talk about that too much. I don't want to rush you at the end because I think you're gonna kind of divulge into this last one a little bit. So how happy are you that Packers special teams coordinator Rich, you can say his last name because I don't want to butcher it.
Bisaccia,
has stepped down from the Green Bay Packers. How happy are you, buddy?
Ecstatic. He's horrible. Special teams is a joke. It's been since he got. I think it's been 3 years since he's been there. they've been the worst overall special teams you combine the 3 years. Never been last any year. He's terrible. He hasn't fixed anything. And in his defense, there's not really been a good return man this year, but they need a new, they need a new voice coaching special teams. The thing that pisses me off the most is why didn't he do it right when the season ended? There's some really good candidates that left. I don't think I would have hired him, but the assistant special teams coach left to be the same job in Cleveland, that special teams coordinator. So they had all these other candidates they could have hired that probably would have taken the job because nowhere to go but up. And now they have to start over. So that's the thing that really pissed me off. Why did it take so long? He's 65 years old. He should have retired years ago. But I am very, very happy because you can't get any worse. And I'll make a video about that tomorrow. So
all right,
on my channel, look out for tomorrow. I'm going to make a video all about that. It's going to be a quick video, but I need to break it down on the time.
I can't wait to see that video. That's going to be great. So it'll be sometime tomorrow. You'll release that, right? Yes. The Packers special teams coordinator. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name again, even though it was kind of fun to say it the first time. I'm not going to do it. Bisaccia. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. So then Cheese got everything right. He got it done in the 5 minutes. So we're going to leave that right there for him for a moment. And I want to ask you, leave the music in the background for a minute as we continue with the 5 Flame and 5 and 5. This is the unlocked question, Cheese. Trinidad Chambliss was granted an extra year of college eligibility. Here's my first question for you. There'll be 4. Is this the best thing for him on the short term? In other words, 0 to 12 months, as he reportedly signed a 1-year NIL deal with the Rebels worth $5+ million.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy that a judge can just decide that, but yeah, it's the best thing for him. Another year starting in the SEC. He started, I think it was Division II, but only 1 year in the SEC, and it's just been proven that quarterbacks, you need multiple years to be successful. Very rarely do you have 1 year big time program just starting 1 year and you're successful in the NFL. So it's very good for him to get that. And he's $5 million is very good for him. He's going to make more in college than he would in the NFL just next year for sure.
Okay, that's very true. So I had him as I'm not the draft analyst that you are, but I had him as the second quarterback being taken, but still as the second quarterback, sometime in the second round, maybe even early in the third round. Where did you have him at, and where did you think he would be taken if he would have come out?
That's kind of what consensus had him. I still didn't know yet. I needed to do more of a deep dive. Don't have to do that now. But I think he was either going to go second, third, or fourth as far as quarterbacks go, something like that. But yeah, some people have him second. Third is the most common one I've seen behind Ty Simpson and, of course, Fernando Mendoza. But yeah, right now, I would have probably had him somewhere in the third round if he had come out. But just makes the quarterback class even worse. It's terrible. Terrible quarterback class.
Yeah.
Just garbage. And so many teams need quarterbacks.
It made me rewrite one of my questions because I was going to ask you if the Arizona Cardinals had the third pick and he was there in the second round, third pick of the second round, would you have taken him? But again, we don't have to discuss that now because that's not going to be a thing. So, yeah, interesting.
That would have been.
What's the difference, Cheese, in a rookie? Maybe so.
Maybe.
I don't think so, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So okay. What is the difference in a rookie contract for a player that's drafted in the second round as opposed to the third round of the NFL draft? Is there a big monetary difference in between the two?
Between second and third round? Well, yeah. So the first pick of the second round, for example, you said like early if you went the third pick of second round, Chambliss. So Carson Schlesinger went 33. He signed a 4-year, $11.8 million contract with 6.5 guaranteed. Okay. Trying to think of a third who was picked early third round. Here, I'll just give you an example of, let's see, who was. They were pretty bad last year. Let me see.
I'm not putting you on the spot or anything like that.
Well, I'm just trying to find okay, so here's a guy that's drafted right at the end of the second round.
Okay.
Okay, 4 years, about $7 million, about $3 million guaranteed. The tackle for the Bears who was drafted at the end of the second round. Okay. So basically, you the beginning of the third round is about 7 years, about $3 million guaranteed, 11.8 for 4 years, about 6.5 guaranteed. That's a round difference. And of course, guys in the top 5 get $30, $40 million contracts, all of it guaranteed. So Yeah, the big drop off, and it's a thing that we talked about. A quarterback now at a big time program, if you're not going to be a top 10 pick, maybe even top 5, if you're told, okay, you're not going top 15, but you might go late first round, it's better to come back money wise and improve your stock. You'll get paid more with NIL money.
Mm-hmm.
So Trinidad Chambliss, if he was the 3rd pick of the 2nd round, like you mentioned, the Cardinals, he would make less money than probably about half just in that year. It gets bigger throughout the contract. He'd make about half of what he would make in NIL money. So yeah, it's smart to come back. It's crazy.
Okay. So that's kind of the difference now, right, with the NIL money. I mean, a few years ago, without NIL, there wouldn't have been a thought process here. He'd have come out and been done, right?
Oh, running backs that were projected to be 4th, 5th round picks were coming out because they could get hurt and maybe not drafted. Like there was one punter, I can't remember who it was, that actually left after his junior year. He was a smaller school one.
Punter?
Yeah, one punter. He was a smaller school one. He left after his junior year because he thought he had the best chance to be drafted in that draft. So that's gone. All of that is gone now. NIL has definitely changed the draft forever.
Okay, excellent. Last thing here. So next year's draft class, as far as quarterbacks, looks like it's going to be pretty impressive. I mean, you've got 4 or 5 guys that are probably going to go in that first round, mid-second round, something like that. How big of a season is Trinidad Chambliss going to have to get in that mix of quarterbacks somewhere? And is that a reason to go ahead and come out this year knowing you'll probably be the 2nd or 3rd quarterback chosen instead of next year when you could be, 7 to 10?
It's really tough. Next year's quarterback class is going to be deep. It's going to be deeper because there's guys that just don't have the eligibility. Well, maybe Trinidad Chambliss, who knows? But we'll see. There's a lot of guys that have a lot of work to do. You have Arch Manning, you have John Mateer, you have Lenoris Sellers, you have Dante Moore. So it's very possible he's not even top 5. Very possible. Julian Sayin might come out. Just think Darian Mensah. I'm trying to think of some more names, but that's just to name a few.
That's the chance you take, though, right? That's the roll of the dice here.
Well, it's possible he could move up. It's possible. Okay, for example, he could be the 2nd quarterback taken or 3rd and go in the 3rd round this year. He could be the 8th quarterback taken next year and go in the middle of the 2nd round. So I think it's a good move for him. Not only that $5 million, he hopefully saves most of it just in case, and he can get better. He can improve, and he can also show that if he does it with a different system, a different offense too, because the head coach left, like I did in 2 different systems, he's a real opportunity if he has an amazing year to go in the 1st round. But I don't think he's going to go ahead of Dante Moore, who's probably my number 1 quarterback prospect in 2027 right now. A lot can change, obviously.
Sure, obviously a lot can change, right? It did this year because we were thinking some other guys were going to be the number 1, number 2 guys, and they're not even mentioned right now. So, yeah.
Who was talking about Fernando Mendoza? He was like a 4th, 5th round pick on consensus going into the season, like mid-round pick. Yeah. So
right, and we had the Syracuse guy coming out. We had what was this, Chambliss, right? Or no, I was just talking about Chambliss.
Which guy?
I can't remember. Some crazy last name. Syracuse guy, I think, right? In the ACC?
Syracuse guy.
Started with an N, like Niemacher or something like that. Who was that guy we thought was going to be really good and ended up not needing anything?
Oh, Cabe Klubnik from Clemson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cabe Klubnik. Oh, yeah. He had a terrible year. There is a chance he might not even be drafted this year, and that's crazy. I do think someone will take a late round flyer on him, but I think he's a day 3 pick all day long. He just wasn't very good.
Wow. It's amazing how people can fall off quick, right?
Yeah. Clemson, it seemed like all their prospects, all their stocks dropped. Like every prospect on Clemson had a worse season than the year before. I just don't know how that's possible, but it is. Going into the season, I thought they had the most draft talent of anyone, and they probably don't even have top 5 now.
Wow.
Because all the stocks that dropped. And some other, Indiana obviously jumped up a bunch. So, yeah.
All right, buddy. I like it. We had to do a little bit of college football, at least, even though there's not a whole lot going on. I wanted to make sure we visited that spot and talked about it a little bit. We're going to jump into our MLB right now. We have 4 pitch talk, and here in just a few moments, Cheese will take over the segment, and we will do his football segment. That will be 4 down territory. So we'll get to both of those here in just a moment. Let me tell you, first of all, guys, you can catch us on Facebook on my personal account. There's the name right there below that double chin. You can go to Cheese's YouTube account and catch us. You can go over to our YouTube account, All Gloves Off Sports Media. You can do that one, or you can go to Twitch now. We're there, and you can also go to our X account as well, All Gloves Off SM. So once you get to our YouTube page, let me see if I can get this right, Cheese. You got to go there. You got to hit the thumbs up and like it. Then you got to hit the bell for notifications, which will give you a notification every time we make a new video. And then I think that's it, right? Or did I miss something?
Yeah, that way you don't miss it. That's what the notification bell is for. Because you never know. We do a podcast every Tuesday night, but sometimes we do specials. Sometimes we do watch-alongs. So you never know. And, who knows what's going to happen? We got draft season coming up. So
very true. We're looking at a few things in the background. We're gonna try to do some special stuff here between now and the draft. And then, of course, I've started one on that YouTube channel, the All Gloves Off Sports Media. You can get it right below my name, right below the double chin there. It is Seeing the Whole Field. So you can check that out as well. A little shorter videos, 10 to 12 minutes. And we just take some subjects in baseball and look at them throughout the week. So, buddy.
You wouldn't believe where spring training was before if you watch those videos. If you watch your spring training, I watched all three. It's crazy. Some of those where spring training used to be. It's so different now.
Isn't it though? Some of that, where it came from, where it all happened and everything else. Yeah, absolutely insane. All right, guys. So it is time. It's time for the best graphic in all of podcasting. Here it comes. And it, of course, has to do with our MLB 4-pitch talk. Oh, there we go. All right, man. We are going to do some teams today. Actually, we're gonna kind of have a theme here. We're going to talk about Tony Clark first, and the executive director of the Players Association, because we pretty much have to. That was the big news of the day. But then we're going to focus on 3 teams today. Cheese: the San Diego Padres, the Philadelphia Phillies, and your Chicago Cubs. So we're basically going to say what is going on with the Padres, what's going on with the Phillies, and what's going on in Chicago. So we will get to all of that here in just a moment. Of course, the computer thing comes out where I got to redo everything. All right.
Of course.
Why wouldn't it do that? So hang on, I got to log all back into this thing.
Of course.
Yeah. Why not, right? So we're going to start with the Major League Baseball Players Association. That is where our good buddy Tony Clark is. He resigned today, if you didn't hear. So we'll talk about exactly why he resigned, or you know what? I don't want to. I'm kind of like Cheese, right? Cheese is in a good mood today. I'm in a pretty good mood today. So let's not drag the show down too much with all the negative things. So we'll just ask maybe if we think he did some of the stuff that he's been accused of today, and we'll kind of move on from it. So, if you don't know, Tony Clark resigned as the executive director of the Players Association. He'd been there like 13 years, I believe. He was a former player, so he knew a lot about the ins and outs from both sides of everything. So a lot of the people respected him even outside of baseball. So we got 4 questions here, Cheese. Do you think he actually stole money from Players Way? That's a youth baseball commission that was formed jointly with the NFL and the MLB Players Association. He's being accused of, we'll just leave it at stealing money from a place like that. Do you really think Tony Clark could stoop as low as to steal money from kids in the Players Way Youth Foundation?
I'll say this. The fact that he's being accused and it got out, you don't want to falsely accuse someone of that. You have to have some kind of evidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I hope it's not true. And apparently they've known about this for a while. Apparently I don't know how I missed this. Apparently maybe it's been 8 or 9 months since this was raised. If that's the case, did you see that? if I don't know how I missed the story. If that's the truth, why did he stay on for this long? If that's the case, I don't know. I could be wrong. I saw something on X that they started looking into this like 8 or 9 months ago, and I'm like, what? Why does he still have work? But this whole situation is about to get crazier. If you guys did not know, Tony Clark, Players Union, what's about to happen with the CBA, like all of this here, I'm sure you're going to get into it more. There's a lot going on here.
There is. There's a lot of. It's kind of like what you said. You're like, wow, how did I miss this? Well, I'm pretty sure they buried this on purpose, right? I mean, they put it out there. It's kind of like when you were talking earlier about some of the moves that the Packers made, and they did it like right after the Super Bowl or right when there was a whole bunch of other big headlines going on, and then they just kind of slipped some stuff in there, right? And this is basically what MLB has done here. He has been under investigation for this, like you said, for several months. And it's not just a small investigation. It's an internal investigation by Major League Baseball. And it's also a federal investigation. So it's not like it's a small little thing. Now, when they were doing all of that, they've discovered a couple more things that's come out today. And I hope this isn't true either. And, that's the way I want to handle this right at the moment, Cheese, I think, is let's say what could have happened. We'll throw it out there and we'll just cross our fingers and hope that Tony Clark has not done some of the things that he's been accused of today. So secondly, do you think Tony Clark may have had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law that was recently hired by the Major League Baseball Players Association?
Sounds like that's the main reason he quit or resigned.
Mm-hmm.
So if you why resign if that didn't happen? So but this is so crazy. So he has an affair with his sister-in-law. Okay, first of all,
yes,
and then gets her a job with the Players Association.
Probably to shut her up.
Probably, but that's so wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make the Players Association look bad. I just want to know. I want to talk to the players. It's like, why is this guy still here? There are so many red flags, if all this is true, on this dude, this Tony Clark? Why did you not get rid of him months or even years ago? I never really liked him once he got that job. The way he talks, and I've seen the clips of him, he's very doesn't seem like he's a good negotiator. It seems like doesn't seem like a very likable guy. So I don't know why he's there. There had to be red flags. Like there has to be, because the players that are on the board of the union have to spend a lot of time with him. So I just don't know, but sister-in-law, great dude.
Great guy, right? Yeah. So as you're starting to talk about a little bit, we'll get into it here. This is really awful timing for the Players Union, as the contract between them and the Baseball Players Association is getting ready to expire at the end of the year. So, Cheese, can they move on without him? Can the Players Association still pick up and negotiate and do what they need to do without Tony Clark?
Yeah, of course they can. I mean, he's not a negotiator. He was a player. He's kind of like the leader of the Players Union, because I guess you need a player at least at high up, somewhere in the union, a former player. But they have negotiators. They have attorneys. So I don't think it'll hurt it. Plus, the CBA expires at the end of the year, so they have time to find a replacement.
Right.
So now I don't think. I mean, it's the timing sucks. It's could possibly delay. I don't know. Probably not, but it might. It's just bad timing, and it's more drama that we don't need as baseball fans. More 100%. Drama on this CBA.
Yeah.
Collective bargaining agreement. If everyone doesn't know, CBA is the collective bargaining agreement that expires December 1st of this year.
So, Cheese, does this now give the owners a distinct advantage in these negotiations, because they can always point to Clark and be like, oh, well, look, it's kind of like when you're having that argument with your significant other, and you're losing, but then all of a sudden you can just say, you know what, we'll just live like your fat alcoholic mother, and you just turn that argument right around, right? So, I mean, is this something they can use against everybody, and now the owners have a distinct advantage here?
No, I'm sure they'll try to use anything they can. They're not going to come to agreement anytime soon. Let's be honest. It's not going to happen.
Stop.
So hold on. I'll try to be positive, but I got to bring up this. But so I don't think it'll affect it long term. Maybe right now, but they're not going to come to agreement. So I did a little research on this. I was away last week, and one night I was kind of bored. I was just like, I looked into this. And it sounds like some owners have talked to some media members that this could drag out a while. This could really hurt baseball. There's one owner even told a reporter that doesn't think there's going to be a 2027 season and maybe not 2028. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but the owners are going to push for a salary cap. What the current rules are, the Dodgers have exploited all rules. The Dodgers have not cheated that we know of, but they've exploited every rule. They've tried to make it so the teams that spend way too much money are penalized, and it has not hurt the Dodgers. One of the things they can do is every time the Dodgers have a weakness, they can go out and just spend the biggest free agent and pay them whatever. They need an outfield. Let's get Kyle Tucker. And then you don't have to trade from your farm system. You only have to do it when they're blocked. So their farm system stays good because of that. And they just take advantage of every single thing, and it hasn't hurt them. In fact, it's only made them better if they won 2 straight World Series. They're the overwhelming favorite this year. And the owners and even some of the players, it's not just fans, of course, all of it. The players on these some of these teams are like, this is not good. Like there's basically a 50% chance the Dodgers win the World Series and 50% everybody else does. That's kind of what some people think. And so the owners are probably going to push for a hard salary cap, at least. Maybe might have to end up something like what the NBA does. Not going to get into it. And the players are not going to want that. They're going to be like, no, we're not doing any salary cap. They want to keep the status quo. So this will be a mess. This just might, any chance that there was going to get an agreement before the season is gone with this, but I didn't think there would be anyway.
I thought we were going to stay positive today, sir.
Hey, who knows? Maybe they can come to agreement. Positive.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just end this on that, right? So let's go to the Padres for a moment.
I don't want to be doom and gloom. I want you to be realistic. I know you don't want to hear it, Mike, but I want you to be realistic. And I think that's one of the reasons some of these teams are going for it this year.
Yes, and I think you're seeing a lot of, and in fact, we'll talk about it here in a moment. You're seeing a lot of 1-year contracts with a mutual option for a second or a third year.
Yeah.
That's what San Diego Padres are doing right now. Let's go ahead and talk about them. So in the last few days, they have signed pitchers Griffin Canning, Walker Buehler, and German Marquez. He used to be with the Rockies. Buehler was more famously with the Dodgers, Red Sox last year. Griffin Canning's kind of bounced around. Probably his best year was with the Angels a year or two ago. But this is what they're doing. They've all of a sudden signed these 3 guys right at the very end, right before spring training comes along. What do you think about their strategy here as far as the Padres and waiting to the very last minute and then signing 3, we'll call them average pitchers instead of trying to go out and spend huge money on one great big one?
You have to have depth. I'll say this. You have to have 8 or 9 starting pitchers now in today's baseball. If you don't, if you have 6 or even 7, you're going to end up playing guys that should be in AAA. Like my Braves. Like they're in serious trouble because 2 of their young pitchers have elbow pain. So you're going to start someone like Bryce Elder, who had a 5.3 ERA last year. He looked worse than that. I'm surprised it was less than 6. And what you have to do is you have to have depth. So I like these moves. Griffin Cannon actually pitched decent for the Mets last year. I think he pitched for the Mets. Buehler, give it a shot. If he makes a team, it's like what, 1.5 million. Yeah, he has been hurt, hasn't been nearly good the last couple of years. German Marquez, German, I don't know. Maybe gets out of Colorado. Maybe he'll be better. So I know that the rotation's already set, but people get hurt. Look at the Braves. All 5 starters missed at least 6 weeks last year. At least.
That's a crazy stat right there all by itself. So, so now that they have Nick Pivetta, you said, hey, their starting pitching is pretty well set. Kind of, sort of. So they have Nick Pivetta. We know he's going to be the one. Then you've got Joe Musgrove. You got Michael King. You got J.P. Sears that they got in the trade with the Athletics. You got Randy Vasquez in there. You even got Tristan McKenzie. If you guys don't remember, used to be with the Cleveland Guardians. They've got him on a minor league contract, just like they do Walker Buehler. So not all of these guys can make the roster, though, Cheese. Do you think San Diego has had words with these guys and says, hey, we'll put you down in AAA? Like you say, hey, we're going to need you sometime during the season. More than likely, it's an 8 or 9 deep pitching staff now is what you pretty much have to have. But will these guys be okay with going down to AAA and pitching down there, you think?
Possibly, probably not. More than likely, they might just be like long relief, like maybe spot start kind of long relief. Problem with
Okay.
that is if you're doing 2 or 3 innings at a time when you need to start, your arm won't be able to go 5, 6 innings. So it's possible 1 or 2 is in long relief, 1 or 2 goes down to the minors. Who knows? But you never know. There could be a couple injuries in spring training, and they end up starting like the whole year. It's crazy. You mentioned Tristan McKenzie. Man, he was a big time prospect. He got like really good like his 3rd year, and then just fell off a cliff. And when the Indians, not Guardians, Indians, they had some good years and they're going for it. I remember when he was a prospect. The Indians were trying to win. That was a prospect everyone asked for, and they refused to trade him. They're like, no, we cannot trade like a top 50 prospect pitcher. But maybe they should have, because he didn't end up being all that great. But I still remember Tristan McKenzie. Every team, that's the prospect they wanted, and Cleveland refused to give him up.
Yep. His nickname was Clothesline, by the way, just so everybody knows. He's really, really skinny.
Yes.
He's got nothing. The saying, because I actually have his autograph over there. You can't see it, but I've got it over there. Really nice guy. I talked to him a couple, 3 times, and I hope the best for him. I hope he can make it somewhere. Even if it's not with San Diego, I hope he latches on somewhere and revives his career. Then they decided to sign Nick Castellanos as well. So you've got Machado, you've got Tatis, and you've got Nick Castellanos in the same locker room. How do you think that's going to go?
Well, I'll say this. Machado and Castellanos apparently are childhood friends. I saw that. I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that'll work okay. I don't know. It's not ideal. I wouldn't touch Castellanos. He didn't even hit last year. He brings nothing in the field. He might have to play some field. He's not a good base runner. If he doesn't hit, he's worthless. And he might, bring a beer in the clubhouse. He did that in Miami after getting taken out for a defensive replacement. But you're a terrible defender. You always have been. So, he came up as a third baseman, and he was so bad that the Tigers were like, no, you're a left fielder.
Yep, I remember. I remember. I remember fondly, yes. And now I don't know if you've seen the videos, but he is now trying to work at first base with the Padres. So we'll see how all that works out. So the last thing that the Padres did is they extended AJ Preller. Now that's their general manager. And, these teams anymore don't tell you how long or how much money. They just say, oh, we've extended him. And that's it. Number one, I don't like that. I can't stand that. Let me know. If I'm a Padres fan, especially, let me know how much longer my GM's going to be there. Let me know what you're paying him. I think I deserve to know as a fan. What do you think about deserving to know about people's contracts and stuff like that? Should the teams be able to keep anyone secret, whether it be player or front office personnel?
Because players, obviously, you have to know the contracts. But I don't know Matt LaFleur's contract. I don't know, Brian Gutekunst, the GM of Packers. I don't know his contract. So, coaches, you don't have to tell, in GMs. I don't like that. They should have to. We should know what they get. Yeah, AJ Preller is one of those that, I think he's done some really good things. He's done some dumb things. I know some fans are happy and some are not. I guess it's one of those, who are we going to get that's better? It's an unknown, but they typically make the playoffs every year. But yeah, I would like to know what they gave him.
Well, I mean, what I'm curious about with Preller here is he's taken a different approach. It seems like every offseason. There was the one offseason where they signed everybody and just paid them all kinds of money and said, "Come on, let's come be a Padre." And then there's this year where they didn't sign anybody till the very last minute. Now all of a sudden they're signing all of these guys to really small, short contracts. So,
yeah, and at the deadline, if you remember, there were rumors they were going to, even though they were a playoff team, they made the playoffs, they were going to shop some of their guys that were free agents and just kind of punt on the season. And the Padre fans, there was some backlash, and they decided not to do it. They actually bought. Of course, they lost first round of the Cubs, but
you had to throw that in there, didn't you?
Well, it was a close series. It's a stupid 3-game series. They keep adding playoff teams, but I don't like that. But that's topic for another day. But looking back, yeah, maybe they should have, but you have to go for. I mean, you're a playoff team. Why are you not why are you trying to trade your players away? And they didn't. So I got to give him credit for that, for actually buying and going for it.
Okay. So we've talked about San Diego. Let's move to Philadelphia. So what in the world's going on in Philly, right? I don't know if you saw this. Trey Turner said about the World Baseball Classic. I'm paraphrasing. I couldn't find it right away, so I can't quote it to you, but I'll paraphrase it. Says, I would have loved to play for Team USA, but my phone never rang. So I want to talk to you about this real quick, Cheese. Everybody really loves this World Baseball Classic except for you. And
no, I'm not alone, but go ahead.
Right. Well, you're not alone, but I think a lot more people like it than don't like it. Honestly, I'm getting kind of on the fence. I really, I was up here. I really liked it. And the more stuff I hear, I'm gradually kind of coming down to Cheese's level, because this could really hurt. I'm getting there, buddy.
The cheese level.
The cheese level. That's got to be a thing. We got a hashtag.
Somewhere Sean is like, oh no, not another one.
Oh man. But this could hurt some people's feelings, and this could really kind of put a damper between people who do play for the team and people who don't play for the team. Like, oh, you think you're better than I am. You got to play for the team and I didn't get to play for the team, or I played for the team last year and all of a sudden now we're giving these kids the opportunity to come up and play, and I really wanted to play again. And what do you think about maybe it putting unnecessary strain on some of these relationships between some baseball players just because of the World Baseball Classic?
Well, this is what I'll say to Trey Turner. You are not better, not even close to Bobby Witt Jr., and you're not better than Gunnar Henderson, and those are the two shortstops. They are younger players, but he's just not at this point in his career. He's not better than them. That's why his phone didn't ring. It's very simple. I get it. If the shortstop's someone who's like a one-win player, who's maybe like a great defensive player, but not average offense or something like that, I get it. I'd be mad. But that's why he wasn't called. It wasn't Bobby Witt Jr. wants to play. He's going to start shortstop, and you have Gunnar Henderson as the backup. There's no spot for him. What's he going to do? Sit in the bench the whole time? So, and Ernie Clement.
Which is what Bobby Witt Jr. did last year, by the way. I read, because I won't say Bobby fired back at him, but Bobby Witt Jr. said, well, the last time we got to do the World Baseball Classic and I was involved, I got 2 pinch hit appearances, 2 pinch running appearances, and that was it. So he's basically saying, Trey, I went there last year. I sat on the bench. I did what I was told to do, and now I'm going to start. So shut your mouth.
Yeah, Trey Turner, he had his time. He's in his 30s now. So that's the reason you didn't call it, is they're just better players.
I wonder if he wasn't taking a shot at the Philadelphia Phillies, because we're going to talk about some other people taking shots at this club all of a sudden. Maybe he's saying that the Phillies don't want their players to play in the World Baseball Classic, and that's why his phone never rang.
It's possible, but Phillies, so far in this CBA, collective bargaining agreement. Sorry, didn't mean to bring it up. There's nothing that the teams can stop. I don't even know if you can put that in the contract. So if Trey Turner wanted to play, there's nothing they could do.
Okay. So second, GM Dan Dombrowski said he questioned if Bryce Harper was still an elite player. My question for you, sir, and I'm going to be really curious on this because we may go kind of back and forth on this for a minute. Was Bryce Harper ever an elite player?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. He can really hit. Oh, yeah. Is he as good as used to be? No, he's not. But that dude can really, really hit. What do you think?
I just think he was coddled from the beginning. He was a prodigy from day one. I mean, we heard all about Bryce Harper, him and Mike Trout, right? Those are the two guys that we kept hearing everything. He signs this huge contract with the Phillies. He was with the Nationals for the front part of his contract. He signed a huge deal with Under Armour that's now expired as well. So I just wonder if maybe his head was just a little too big for his bat, I guess. And now his poor Will Feelings is hurt because his GM came out and said that he was questioning. He didn't say he wasn't. he said he was questioning whether he was an elite player. Now, he said that right after the Phillies got eliminated from the playoffs, basically saying, Harper's our guy. He's supposed to lead us to the promised land. And he didn't have a real great year this year, which he did not. And Harper even admitted to the fact that he didn't in the, later on in that little presser that he had. But do you think that Major League Baseball players need to be reminded? Do you think they need to be pushed? Do they need to have motivation like that for a GM to say, I'm not sure if you're an elite player anymore, and just tick him off all season long? Or
do you think he did it to motivate him? Is that what you think he'd said it? Or is
it
just a stupid thing to say that he shouldn't have said?
One of those two. But I would think that a GM with a microphone in his face is not going to say something stupid about his star player. I would think it's more along the lines of, let's see if we can motivate him, and he can really lead us to the promised land. This whole thing was done in a longer segment, because it started off with him thinking and telling the media that he thought Kyle Schwarber was gone. He thought Kyle Schwarber was going to sign with the Reds, and I guess him and Schwarber had a conversation, and Schwarber basically said, yeah, I think I'm going to go home and play for my hometown team. And then all of a sudden it got turned around. The Phillies just offered him more money. Sounds like Myles Garrett in Cleveland, right? I'm leaving. No, you're not. Here's the Brinks truck. Okay, I guess I'll stay, right? So same kind of thing, same kind of comments, same kind of concept. I don't know.
I think he was lead. I think he had a couple of years where he was just maybe the best hitter in baseball. He was, but he's not a lead anymore. But it's just a stupid thing to say. It helps nothing. It draws more attention to that he had a down season. It's just dumb. And I would not like it if I was Bryce Harper, even though it's true. He's not anymore. I think he used to be, but it just, even if you tried to motivate him, it doesn't help anything. All it does is bring negativity to it. And it seems like the Phillies and the Mets are like this too. There's always something. Like every year in those organizations, there's always something that's unnecessary that brings negativity to organizations. You remember when the Mets fans were booing, and Francisco Lindor and Javi Baez were booing them back, putting down thumbs? Like, that was so dumb. Yeah. Like that, there was always something with the Mets and the Phillies too. There's always something every year. There's something negative that it's unnecessary, and it's Dombrowski's fault for saying it.
So Harper actually responded by calling the statement, quote unquote, wild, and said that it actually broke a team policy to keep things in-house. Do you really think the Philadelphia Phillies have a policy to where they can't talk bad about their players and they have to keep things like that in-house? And is that good for the team?
I don't think it's in writing. Maybe it's just like a verbal agreement. And I can't imagine that being in writing. Everyone signed this. Don't talk about it. I mean, that doesn't make sense. The Phillies media would never get anything.
Right.
But I like that, though. I like to keep it in house. As much as fans want to know stuff, you should keep stuff like that in house. If there's issues, it should not be leaked to the media. You shouldn't say stuff like that. Like I said, it brings just negativity and a distraction that you do not need. And the Phillies have a very good team, so they don't need this. What do you think? Do you think it's better to just keep it in house?
I think it's better to keep some things in house, but I also understand you trying to motivate somebody too. So I can see both sides of it. I would love to talk to Dan Dombrowski and say, hey, why did you feel the need to say that comment at that time? What were you, did you have, malice, or did you have, different intentions on trying to do it? Or was that just, like you said, something stupid that you were like, oh, snot. And after you said it, you're like, man, I wish let me grab those words back and put them back in my mouth, but you can't, they're out there. So, we'll see how it all unfolds. And I like you think there's a few kinks in this Philadelphia Phillies armor right now that may end up festering a little bit before the season's all said and done. We'll see. Last thing here on the Phillies, Cheese. Nick Castellanos was upset about getting benched and said that Rob Thomas didn't communicate well with any of the players. Excuse me. Do you like working with a guy who speaks his mind, or would you rather work with a guy who puts his head down, shuts up, and does his job?
Shuts up and does his job. Absolutely. Speaking your mind, there are very few people that are good at it. Charles Barkley is good at it. He's very good at it. But very few people are. When they do, it just comes off bad. So I would much rather have someone just shut up, do your job, don't draw any attention to it. And Rob Thompson, they've won 95 games each of the last 2 years, at least 95, and they were one and done in the playoffs both times. So probably a little bit disappointing last 2 years. Win 95 and 96 games, and they didn't even win a playoff series. I think his first year they went to World Series and lost. Yeah, if that's true, I mean, Nick Castellanos, can you really trust? That's not the best source. Obviously, he doesn't like him. He doesn't like him because he takes him out for defense. He brought the beer in the clubhouse. He doesn't like him. It's clear. So I don't necessarily trust. Maybe Thompson doesn't communicate well with Nick Castellanos because he doesn't want to, because Castellanos is such a, diva. But I don't know if I trust Nick Castellanos when it comes to that.
Right, but I want to play devil's advocate here for a moment. If something's wrong, I want somebody to speak up. The last thing I want is for everybody to just ignore it. Nice Packers cup, by the way. I don't want everybody to.
Last second, I switched it after I heard the news. It was going to be a different mug.
Okay, all right.
You'll find out which one next week. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
What you're saying is sometimes this stuff needs to come out. Like
yes,
keeping stuff in can. Okay.
But especially if there's preferential treatment going on or something like that, right? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that needs to come out. That's the kind of stuff that, I don't mind, me personally, I don't mind challenging authorities on it or anything like that. I mean, even if they're way above me, and, I've had my share of doing it all over the place, but sometimes, and you're right, though, I will give you the credit for what the statement that you said. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, and not everyone's good at doing the challenge thing. It's kind of how you do it. And, should you bring the beer to the clubhouse? No, probably not. Right. Should you go to the media with it? Not in the beginning, at least. I mean, but that's also the media's job, right? Is, oh, look, Nick looks pissed. Let's put a microphone in his face and see what he says, because he's just going to speak his mind and speak his truth. So
play better defense. If you play better defense, you don't get taken out defensive replacement.
That's true. It's true.
Play better defense. That's the simple solution. And, yeah, the beer thing, you're not allowed to have alcohol in the clubhouse or the dugout. So I don't know. Should he be suspended? I don't know. I don't think he was.
He never was. No.
Maybe he should have been.
Maybe so. Very, very true. Very true. If you can't be the guy who says, I don't like it when people break rules, and then you're holding a beer in your hand where you're not supposed to have one, right?
It's so petty. You're trying to make a statement. Oh, I'm going to bring a beer. He took me out, so I'm just going to bring a beer. What are you trying to accomplish? It makes you look bad. It doesn't make the manager look bad. It just makes you look bad. Yeah, I'm surprised anyone would even sign him. You better hope that he hits, because otherwise he is a liability having in your organization. Yeah, and when the Cubs had him for 2 months at the deadline, they traded for him, and he hit great for them, and they didn't even try to re-sign him. That tells you a lot.
It does. You're right. The Reds had him. He did really well over here in Cincinnati, and then all of a sudden he was gone. So
everyone can tolerate him when he hits, but when he stops hitting, no reason to have him on your team.
True. Now we're going to look at what's going on in Chicago. And Cheese, you're the Cubs guy, and I wanted to bring this up a little bit because it's not really anything negative as far as that part goes, but I do still feel as though it's something we should talk about. Because of the timing. So let me get to what I mean here. So the Cubs have two outfielders in Ian Happ and Seiya Suzuki that are in the final year of their contracts. So when you're in the offseason, you work on signing new players, and you work on tinkering with the lineups, and you work on, hey, we need a right-handed bat off the bench, so let's go get that guy. Or we need, you're plugging holes, right? You're making your 26-man roster the best that it can be. And now you're reporting to spring training. And it's a little different time now. Most teams are not tinkering with their roster anymore. They're pretty much set. So this is usually the time when you look at these guys that have, final years of their contract, and you're trying to decide, all right, do we want to sign these guys long-term? Do we want to give them a couple more years? And we've got this guy in the minors that's going to take their spot, in 2 years or whatever it is. But the Cubs and Ian Happ and Seiya Suzuki both guys today said that they've not had any talks with the organization about extending their contracts at all. So, Cheese, do the Cubs need to sign them both back to their team?
They don't need to sign them both. It'd be nice to extend one of them, but I'll just say this at first. It could have to do with the CBA. Could have to do with the CBA. Do we really want to pay these guys? And we'll see. What if they have down years and you extended them? So I understand. Now, as far as if they don't re-sign both of them, that's a couple holes to fill. But they could move Matt Shaw out the outfield, especially if they re-sign Nico Horner. They could move Matt Shaw. Matt Shaw is going to work some outfield after signing Bregman. He's a third baseman.
Mhm.
He's going to play some outfield in spring training. Probably, definitely, it's lefties. He might play some outfield. So they can move him there. They have a prospect, Kevin Alcantara. He's an outfielder. He's probably going to start the year in AAA if he doesn't make the fourth outfielder role. And their first round pick last year, Ethan Conrad, he hasn't played yet. So he's probably a couple years away at least. College outfielder for Wake Forest. He's a left fielder. So they have options. So they don't necessarily have to. It would be nice if, they got at least one of them back.
All right. So do you want to pick one? Do you want to tell me which one that you would rather have, Seiya or Ian?
Ian's a Gold Glover, and he's a switch hitter. Suzuki's a better bat, but if I had to pick, I would pick Ian.
Okay, so there
might be cheaper too. He might be cheaper too because Suzuki hits more home runs.
Yeah, probably so. You got to pay for that over the fence ball, right?
Yep, you really do.
Yeah. So the Cubs also have infielder Nico Horner, as you mentioned a few moments ago. He is also in the final year of his deal. If they lose all three of these guys, that's three pretty big holes to fill.
Huge.
So what do you think the Cubs are going to do with Nico?
Well, it's two Gold Glovers too. So Nico Horner's tremendous defense at second. So here's the thing with Horner. I should have looked up his age. I think he's 28 or 29. So he gave up a year of control to sign a 3-year, with 2 years left of control. He signed a 3-year deal. So he get 1 year control, which gave him more money at the time, but probably he's way underpaid. What's up? So he's underpaid for his production right now, in my opinion, Nico Horner.
Okay.
So I'm guessing, and it says here he's 28, so he'll be 29 next year. 36 career home runs. That's crazy. This is probably his last chance to get a big contract. So I'm sure he's going to be like, okay, you can extend me, but you're going to give me market price. That's just a guess. I don't know for sure. And the Cubs, if you're going to extend someone early, you want to get them at a little bit of bargain. So I'm sure they'd love to extend him. I absolutely love Horner. He's still underrated, criminally underrated. He's 95th percentile in base running, 98th percentile in defense. He's their best hitter, running scoring position. He has everything but power. Everything. And great clubhouse guy too. So I hope they bring him back, but I'm guessing that he's going to want to at least test free agency because he'll be 29, his last chance to really make a big payday. And he did take a little bit of a discount with that contract 3 years ago.
Yeah, but we're talking about, what you pay for. And to be honest with you, buddy, we both know this. You don't pay for doubles in defense. You pay for home runs is what you pay for right at the moment. And, home runs and strikeouts, it's what it pretty much seems like.
And he hardly ever strikes out. Yeah.
Right.
He hardly ever does.
Yeah. So I mean, is this a guy they can sign cheaper than what they could Happ or Suzuki?
He would have been great 80s and 90s, like 80s. He would have been.
The prototypical number 2 guy.
Yeah, Wade Boggs, Tony Gwynn type. He's not as good as them though, as with the bat. He's not. No, very few people are. But yeah, I get it. But someone is probably going to pay him. Someone will pay him a lot of money, and it's not just Homer's. You won't get as much as a second baseman that maybe isn't a good defense of player or doesn't run well that hits 35 homers. Yes, that guy will get paid more. But what I think is he wants to see what he's worth. He wants to get out there and see what he's worth because it's the last chance he has to really, if he takes a 3 or 4 year extension with the Cubs, he'll never actually hit free agency and see what he can get. So that's what I think is happening there. And I think they'd love to extend him. Absolutely. How can you not?
All right, copy that. So AFC quarterbacks is what we're going to do for our lights out list here in just a little bit. We're going to finish the Cubs segment here. And we're going to go right into the NFL. And then right after that, we are going to rank the top 10 quarterbacks in the AFC. And then Cheese has a question for me at the end of this MLB segment too. So we're looking forward to that. We've got a few more things to do here before we turn the lights out on the Lights Out Sports podcast. Cheese, there are only 2 players guaranteed more than $6 million next season on the Cubs' entire roster, Dansby Swanson and Alex Bregman. Do you like this strategy or not?
I really think this has to do with the CBA. And I think the Cubs are worried that if they go out and give all these people long-term contracts, that what if there's a salary cap and we'll be over it? I don't know how they do it. They might have to say, okay, you have to shed some payroll because the Dodgers and Mets are so high, like every year for a few years. But I think that's what the Cubs are thinking about. And I think there might be huge penalties if you're over the cap, at least if there's a new CBA, and they don't want to beat that. I think they extend Horner, but I think they want to wait with most everybody else. And you brought up Bregman and Swanson. I just thought of something. So
when
the Cubs won the World Series 10 years ago, God, it's been 10 years. What they did was, this was Theo Epstein was running it. Jed Hoyer was right under him. He's running the Cubs now. They had a young core. They had 5 or 6 young hitters, a good group of young core. Almost all of them are top 100 prospects. Javi Baez, Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, people like that.
Okay.
And then they had 2 or 3 veterans, because you can't just you have to have a good young core to build a team, but you need veterans. You need David Ross. You need Ben Zobrist. You need Jason Hayward. You need really good locker room guys to go with those young guys. Kyle Schwarber's another young guy. Wilson Contreras, another young guy on that team. You need the veterans, and that's kind of what they're doing now. They have a good young core of players, and they have Dansby Swanson, Alex Bregman as the veterans. So I just kind of thought of that they're Alex Bregman, Dansby Swanson, about as good as locker room guys as you're going to get. But
interesting. I would have never thought that.
Yeah,
That's
and the A's are setting up for a young core.
Yes.
Hopefully in a year or two, they go after some veterans to stick with that young core, and maybe 2028, 29, they'll be really good. I hope so, but they have a really good young core.
They do. They really, really do.
Yes.
All right. So this season, the Cubs,
Las Vegas Athletics,
Sacramento, right at the moment, sir.
For a couple years.
Well, I don't know if you saw or not, but they can't get Las Vegas A's. It's taken. They can't get Las Vegas Athletics. It's taken. So I don't know if they're going to go to whoever has those.
Whoever had somebody
trademarked
it, and they want money. That's what it is. And the A's are very cheap. So that's a shame. I hope that they're the Las Vegas Athletics. I hope so. I don't want them to change the name. Yeah, because it's the Athletics. Yeah, Las Vegas Athletics. They've always been the Athletics when they were in Philadelphia. It's Athletics.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if the Athletics really get you with Las Vegas. I mean, the Las Vegas Aces or the Las Vegas Spades or something like that. I mean, that's just
Las Vegas.
Opinion.
Oh, Las Vegas Escorts.
The Las Vegas Showgirls. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Before this show gets too far off the rails, all right, let's go with this last question on the Cubs here.
There you go, Las Vegas Cacti, because there's cactuses.
Oh, stop. This season, the Cubs are spending $231 million on the team. Next season, they're spending $76.25 million. Would you say it's? I'm going to give you some choices here. Does that mean that they're wasting money this season? Does it mean it's a good reset for them? Does it need they need to get ready to spend more money if we have a season? I can't believe I just said that. Or does it put more pressure on them to win this season?
I think it could be somewhat all of the above. Believe it or not, it does put pressure on to win the season. They're going for it. There's no doubt about it. Or they would not have traded for Edward Cabrera, given up their best prospect, Owen Casey, and they would not have signed Alex Bregman. So they are definitely going for it. Now, the $76 million, it's probably more like 110, 115 if you add the arbitration players up.
Right.
But still, that's half. That's still half of what it is. They have a lot of key free agents. So if it doesn't go well, they could try to re-sign a bunch of those guys or sign free agents, or they could do a little retool if they want, because the farm system isn't great. It's probably not a top 20, probably in the 18 to 25 range is my guess. So they have options next year, and they might be the team that just goes out and spends like crazy, just signs, 3 of the top 10 free agents. So who knows? But I definitely think it puts pressure on them to win.
Okay. So you said that you were going to have a question for me. Yes. What's that question going to be, buddy?
Okay. So now free agency's over pretty much. There's still a few minor players that haven't signed. What do you think is the best and the worst free agent signing? And I guess you can use any category or whatever. I have mine, but who do you think is the best free agent signing of the offseason? Not the best player, but the best signing.
So you gave me a little bit of hint to this right before we went on the air. So I've had a little bit of time to kind of think about this for a few minutes while we were doing everything else. This might surprise you, but I think because of his versatility and what the Yankees were able to get for him, I don't think they overpaid, but they needed him and he needed them, to be honest. He needs that left-handed porch over there too. I like the Cody Bellinger signing, 5 years at 140. After some of these other signings that have taken place, I don't think 5 and 140 seems all that bad. So I like this. I'm going to go with Cody Bellinger to the Yankees, 5 years, 140 as the best one of the offseason.
It's less than Pete Alonso got, and a lot more versatility on defense. Can play a lot more positions, and he's much better defensively. So yeah, that's a good one. I actually I wrote 2 down because I thought you'd take one of these, but I'm going to use 2 teams you like very much. You got a guy that hit 49 home runs. You got him for what, 2 years, 30 million?
Yeah.
I know his defense isn't great. He's probably going to play more first base DH, but Eugenio Suarez, even if he hits 35 home runs, 2 years, 30 million, that could be the offseason steal. Love that signing. And then you get Zach Gallen for the same money, the declining qualifier offer, but you get to defer it, so you're still under the luxury tax.
Right.
That could be a bargain. If he pitches like he did in the last 2 months, then that could be an absolute steal. And if he's pitching great, you have all season to extend him before he hits free agency. You can try to keep him. So I really like those 2 moves. And obviously Zach Gallen probably is not back if he don't have the qualifying offer, but he did. And that probably hurt his market. But I think it's a total win for the Diamondbacks. They get him back and they get to defer a lot of the money. So it ends up working better for them. So those are 2 I liked. Any thoughts on those?
Well, of course. I mean, Suarez could be a huge bargain, but he also could be a huge bust too. So there's the yin and yang part of that contract. He's getting older. He's a streaky hitter. He's not near as good on defense as he used to be. So there's some negatives to that contract possibly. I really agree.
He's always been a Cub killer. He's always been a Cub killer, and that's maybe the team they have to beat. So
that's true. But I like the Gallen signing. He had a press conference a couple of days ago where he basically said, him and Merrill Kelly are really good friends. Outside of baseball, they play golf together. They do all this stuff, and they pretty much made a pact that if there wasn't an offer that blew them away, they were going to come back to Arizona because they liked it in Arizona so much. So good job to Arizona for making a culture that players want to come and play for. I think that's that's a really big thing that kind of goes unnoticed, is they basically said that we want to come back because of the culture and because of how everything's set up here. And, we're familiar with everything. And, both of them live not too far away. So I'm sure that had something to do with it as well. And Zach Gallen's wife was raised in Arizona too. So, all those things I'm sure help. I don't know if you know this because we didn't, according to Cheesehead TV on X, both Rich Bisaccia, right?
Bisaccia.
Yeah, okay, whatever. And the assistant, Byron Storer, are gone. So both of them have.
He took the job with Cleveland. He's their new special teams coach.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
If they wanted to promote him, which I want someone new, they blew the opportunity. The timing, they've got to explain the timing. It says that he stepped down, but I don't know. But if he got fired, then you do it right at the end of the year. I just don't understand. But yeah, so it's a whole new group of special teams, but more than likely they'll go after someone who's an assistant special teams coach, hopefully at a team that's great at special teams. I don't know who the assistant special teams coach of the Seattle Seahawks is, but I don't care. Just hire him. give it a shot. But they need a return man. They don't have a return man. Once Keyshawn Nixon went to corner full time, they have not replaced him. So they've got to get a better return man.
All
and
right.
a better
I've
kicker.
also
And a better covering kicks.
Absolutely. So I really want to look at this Major League Baseball Players Association thing too, because there's some more stuff coming out even as we're talking here. So they did not vote today on who to replace Tony Clark with, but I guess they're going to vote tomorrow or as soon as tomorrow.
That's quick.
Yeah. So it's almost like they knew this was coming and they had somebody set up already. So
I got an idea. Ryan Braun.
Oh, stop. That was funny though. That was really funny.
Okay, so what is your worst contract? What contract do you think was your least favorite?
All right, so you can hear my phone going off. I'm getting all kinds of stuff from people here. So there's also a thing here
when
where
I said escorts.
Yeah. Yes. Oh man. So we also I just put it up on our X account, All Gloves Off SM. It's a pretty good rant here between so Micah Parsons goes off on Skip Bayless, somebody who I can't stand anyway. So I linked it over real quick. I want to watch it when we're done here. So
nobody likes him, and Micah has stayed silent for I guess that finally he just had enough. But
have you seen it yet?
I have not, but I've heard of it. I got texts about it, but I'm sure I try not to talk about Skip Bayless as little as possible because that's what he wants. He's a complete narcissist. He wants you to talk about him. He doesn't care if it's negative or positive. This is what he wants. He wants Parsons to react. But like Charles Barkley, he wants Charles Barkley to react to him too. Charles Barkley, they absolutely despise each other. And I agree with Chuck.
All right. So I said Cody Bellinger was my best contract of the offseason.
Yep.
7 years, $189 million for a starting pitcher that really has got, it's for Dylan Cease. That's what Toronto paid for him. And Dylan Cease has had a really good year, a really bad year, a really good year, a really bad year, like back and forth for quite some time now. So if you sign him to a 7-year deal, you're either going to get 4 good years or 3 good years, and that's all you're going to get for $189 million. I don't like that trade-off at all. That's terrible. So I'm going to say Dylan Cease is going to be the worst contract signing of the offseason for the Toronto Blue Jays.
So I'm going to cheat a little and do 2. I had 2 just in case you said the one for me. I just say this. The Mets better hope that Bichette can play third base and that he doesn't get hurt. That's all I got to say. That could be a disaster. It's only a 3-year deal. He didn't get 6 or 7 million, but 3 years, 126 for a guy that didn't stay healthy last year and was really bad at short defensively. Probably should be better at third base, but we'll see. But the worst contract to me is Marcell Ozuna, 1 year, $12 million to Pittsburgh. I don't want that guy anywhere near my organization. He's he grabbed his wife, strangled her, hit her with a cast when he had a cast on his arm. He got a DUI the next year. I don't want that guy anywhere near a young group locker room. And the people online, the Pittsburgh fans, or ever saying, "Oh no, but he turned a new leaf and he was great." He had any incident in 3 years. People like that, they can go years and then just something could happen. And he didn't hit last year. Why are you paying him? It's like they're desperate for a bat. I think that could end up being a total disaster for Pittsburgh.
I do too. I said it when they first did it. They've now given me a reason to despise the Pittsburgh Pirates.
There was nothing
more than I do as a Reds fan. So.
Yeah. There was nothing for so many years to dislike the Pirates about. Nothing. But, yeah.
And here we go. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Here we go.
All right, buddy. So let's go into this NFL segment. I know you are really, really waiting to do that. So let's go ahead and do it here. Let's flip down to where we need to be. Let's give us our music, and let's get into NFL 4 down territory.
Okay.
As soon as I find the music, we'll be right there.
All right.
Oh, there it is. All right, Cheese, give us a little preview. What are we going to talk about today on the NFL 4-Down Territory segment?
We're going to talk about what veteran quarterback the Vikings may sign to go with J.J. McCarthy. We also are going to talk about Malik Willis, possible destinations. We're going to talk about Trey Hendrickson and the Cincinnati Bengals. And then we're going to mention Tyreek Hill and whether we're interested in signing him, because he was released by the Dolphins.
All right, so that sounds like a great 4-Down Territory segment. Can't wait to get that thing going. So I'll tell you what, man, where do you want to start? Let's go ahead and get it going.
Now, let's talk about Kirk Cousins possibly going to the Vikings. So the Falcons are expected to release Kirk Cousins. That's going to happen. It's the rumor now, but we all know it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vikings apparently are interested in a reunion. He was the quarterback a couple of years ago for many years, and they need someone to compete. They've already said a veteran to compete with J.J. McCarthy, maybe even be a bridge to give McCarthy maybe more time to develop after really struggling this past season. And Kirk Cousins, he struggled his first year in Atlanta, but he was coming off a torn Achilles, and he was decent last year. Wasn't great, but when Michael Penix Jr. got hurt, he actually played decently. He is 37 years old. Do you like this fit of him going back to Minnesota, maybe being a bridge for McCarthy?
I mean, this is the guy they're going to want, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're going to go out and get another young guy or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, the fit is right. I don't know if he's the right fit. I mean, 37 years old is up there. He takes one big hit and he could be done. And now you're throwing you're throwing J.J. McCarthy out there, which I don't think that's what they want. So I don't know if he's the right fit, but it's someone at least similar to Cousins.
Just don't know if you can do much better out there. You're not. Some people say they could sign Malik Willis. That's not going to happen because Malik Willis is going to go somewhere where he's going to be the guy. And if they pay him big money, then McCarthy's a backup. So what I think they want is I think they want to sign Cousins. I think they want to mentor him and hope that McCarthy has this amazing preseason and just wins the job. And if he still needs some development, then you start Cousins for a while. But yeah, it just did not go well. Actually, I'll say this: McCarthy had a couple good games. He actually did, because I rewatched them. So you see some good, but most of it was bad. Most of it was really, really bad. And he's just got a lot to work on mechanically. He doesn't put a lot of touch on the ball. He's just got a lot of work on, but the talent is there. You were kind of rolling your eyes. Do you not believe in J.J. McCarthy?
Well, it's not that I don't believe in J.J. I think the Vikings are going to waste their team. The Vikings are close to the playoffs. The Vikings are close to making a run.
They have a good roster minus the quarterback. They do.
Right. So why are you farting around with Kirk Cousins and pretty much anybody else? I mean, I think I'd rather him make a trade for Tua, or I think I'd rather him make a trade for Kyler Murray or somebody like that, to where they can at least get some years out of them.
Well, they're in this situation because they had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones on the roster, and they let them both go. Mm-hmm. They took a chance, and I get why they did it. They took a chance that McCarthy was the guy. They didn't know because he was injured his whole rookie year. They took that chance, and it just has not worked out. Yeah, J.J. McCarthy's mom is calling Mike. She's not happy.
Yes, she's not happy with me.
She's not happy. Yes. Okay, well, I have this.
Mama McCarthy, I'll get back to you in a little bit.
Okay, call her back at the end. Make sure.
I will.
Yes. Yeah, or she won't bring you cookies. Okay.
She makes good cookies too.
That's good. That's good. Okay. If Cousins does not sign with the Vikings, let's say he signs elsewhere or retires or whatever, do you think the Vikings would consider Joe Flacco?
Well, that's an interesting name. I think Joe Flacco is tougher than Kirk Cousins. I think I'd put more stock in him than I would Kirk. I mean, Joe played hurt for a lot of last season. I know it was not his. I don't think it was his throwing shoulder, if I remember correctly. But Flacco wants to win. Flacco wants to get out there and mix it up. And I'm not sure Cousins really wants that anymore. Cousins gives me the inclination that he just wants some money and ride off into the sunset. Give me a few more million so that I make sure I can take care of my grandkids as grandkids, and we'll be good.
That's hilarious. The reason I bring it up is when the Browns signed Flacco and they drafted those 2 young quarterbacks, he said his job is not to be a mentor. That's not his job because he wants to play. His job is to get ready to play. And so I think Kirk Cousins would be more open to doing that than Joe Flacco. So that's why I bring it up. And I brought up Flacco too, because if you don't sign Cousins or Flacco, who's out there? I mean, what veteran quarterback that can even start and win you a few games is out there? I don't think Tua is the guy. I just don't know. I think Kyler Murray's a terrible fit for their scheme. So I just don't know what else is out there. What other veterans? Mac Jones is under contract in 49ers. You'd have to trade for him. I don't see them making a trade. So I think if you don't get Cousins, Flacco might be it. I don't know who else is out there.
Yeah, but I think if I'm Minnesota, I'd rather try to trade for the 49ers backup than what I would anybody else.
The problem is they'll be like, okay, give us a second-round pick because they have one of the better backups in the league. That's what we asked for.
Okay, but if I'm Minnesota and all I have, the way I would look at it is all I have to do is give up a second-round pick and I got a shot to go to the playoffs. Okay, here's my second-round pick because that's where I think they're at right now.
But then you give up a second-round pick for a guy that might not even be your starter because McCarthy could take the next step. So
that's the chance you take. It's just like the chance they took when they released both the quarterbacks you talked about earlier. It's a chance you take every season, buddy.
There's no there's no indication that 49ers would even trade Mac Jones.
It's true. There is none.
So
I mean, Brock Purdy's hurt a lot.
He is. And I think Cousins, yeah, I think it makes sense because I think they need a mentor and I think he'd be willing to do that. Okay. Speaking of quarterbacks, the most sought-after free agent appears to be Green Bay Packer backup Malik Willis. Most people around the league that I've seen, expect him to do much better than the 2 years, $40 million that Justin Fields got from the Jets last off season. So here are some potential teams that need a quarterback that may fit Malik Willis: the Miami Dolphins, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets, and the Arizona Cardinals. Mike, what is the best fit of those 5 teams for Malik Willis in your opinion?
So I want you to clarify your question. You're saying what's the best fit for Malik Willis? Are you saying the best fit for him as a quarterback, or is it the best scheme that he fits into?
The best fit for him. Like what system would he have the most success? What's the best fit for him personally, do you think?
Well, I would knock out the Jets and the Browns right away. I mean, who wants to play for them?
The next question was who's the worst, but okay. I think you answered that.
I mean, Miami's not much better. So,
like, for example, I'll say this. So let's say the Jets and Browns. Okay, those are the worst fits. We can get that out of the way.
Okay.
They're a disaster. Cleveland doesn't have any receivers. They don't have an offensive line that's coming back. Okay. Let's just say that the Browns and Jets offered $35 million a year and everyone else offered $25 million a year. Right. And Malik's like, well, I want to have success in the NFL. I don't want to take the money. I want to go the best fit. Which of those other 3 teams, the Dolphins, Steelers, Cardinals, would you choose if you're Malik?
Well, I don't want to be a homer here too much, but I think of those 3 teams, the better overall team is the Cardinals. I mean, you've got Trey McBride, you've got you've got Marvin Harrison Jr. on the outside. You've got you got Wilson that's kind of coming up into his own as we get better and better here. So I would say offensively, I guess Pittsburgh's got the the ex-Seattle Seahawks guy, right?
They got DK Metcalf. The problem is they have Mike McCarthy as their head coach. That's a problem.
That is a problem.
I don't think he'd be a good fit with Willis. The problem with Mike McCarthy is he's going to throw no matter what. He'll run the ball some, but he doesn't do enough play action, in my opinion. He doesn't run the ball enough. And Malik Willis needs to be in a scheme, in my opinion, that runs the ball and takes advantage of play action and rollouts. And that is just something that Mike McCarthy's never really done much.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I tend to agree with you. There's a connection with Miami. Their head coach was the Packers defensive coordinator. Their GM was the Packers assistant GM or number 2 executive. I don't know what his title was, but there's a connection with Arizona as well. Matt LaFleur can just tell his brother everything about Malik Willis. how he prepares, everything. Like they're brothers, the head coach of the Packers and the head coach of the Cardinals. So I think it's between those two. I think those are the two fits, just because of the connection. So, okay, we established the worst. No one wants the Browns is the worst. That if your best receiver is Jerry Jeudy, then you should probably just stop playing football. You should just
right. Can I stop you for a second? Because I wanna introduce something that you sort of introduced, but you didn't follow up with.
Okay.
Why can't Justin Fields go to Minnesota?
Well, he's under contract with the Jets. I'm not sure if they'll move on from him. They might. They could.
They moved on from him at the end of the season, right?
I would like to know if Justin Fields, he thought he'd be the starter in Pittsburgh, bench for Russell Wilson, got the job at the Jets. I think he wants to be a starter. Would he accept a bridge quarterback role? That's the question. I think Cousins would. I think Flacco would. I don't know if Justin Fields would, except, okay, you're definitely going to be a bridge. We need you maybe to start the year, but we're going to go with McCarthy at some point. I think he might go to someone. I'm not saying he wouldn't do that, but I'm not sure that he would.
Okay, but, valuable point.
But it's possible. It's possible. Okay. Well, I have this question for you. Would you give Malik Willis Sam Darnold money, which was last offseason, 3 years, $100 million with $55 million guaranteed?
Ooh.
Like if somebody offered him that, they said if you match it, we'll go to your team. You say you're the Arizona Cardinals, and that's what Miami offers, and they said, okay, we like Arizona a little better, but we need you to match that. Would you match that? Because he is a risk. Let's say this: he has not made a lot of starts,
right,
in his career. He hasn't even started a whole season, but when he has started in Green Bay, when he's played very well.
So if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, no, because I have that number 3 pick, no matter if it's in the first round, the second round. I think I would take a chance on one of these college quarterbacks just as much as I would on Malik Willis. And the college quarterback is not going to cost me anywhere near 3 years and $100 million with 55 guaranteed. So I would say no.
Are you saying you might use a third overall pick on a quarterback?
Not the first round.
Okay.
Maybe not even the second round, but I would take a chance on one of these lesser known quarterbacks in the third round. And I would say that's going to be, you've got Jacoby Brissett, you've got Kyler Murray. You're not sure what you're going to get out of him yet. I don't really think he's going to start for the Cardinals, although I wouldn't be opposed to it as a Cardinals fan. But I'm kind of the give him one more year guy. I mean, I was the same way with the coach, and I think there's potential there in Kyler Murray. And the last thing I want is to do what the Minnesota Vikings did with Sam Darnold and be like, nah, I don't think he's good enough. So we'll let him go. And then all of a sudden he becomes a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So I would rather play with what I got and what I know. I'd rather do the devil that I know than a devil I don't, I guess is what I'm saying. So no, I wouldn't match that for Malik at all. I would stick with Jacoby and take a chance on a third or fourth round quarterback that I don't have to pump near as much money into, and cross my fingers just like I would be with Malik Willis.
So say they release or trade Kyler Murray. You'd be okay with Brissett as the bridge and just draft a mid-round quarterback, roll with Brissett, and then when he's ready, maybe give him a shot?
Or, to be honest, I would I would probably be better if that's the way you're going to go, get somebody really good on defense, like get a man, if you get the safety from Ohio State and put him back there with Buda Baker, oh man, do something like that, and then tank your season, and then come back in the draft. I'm serious, and then come back in the draft next year and get one of those really good quarterbacks next year.
Now the division's tough, so there you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
you could do it, I think, and nobody really bat an eye.
Okay, all right. Mike is already wanting the Cardinals to stink next year. He's already talking about tanking the season. They haven't even had the draft. Okay.
It's what's best for business, sir.
Okay. There you go. Well, we know, we know Mike does not want them to go 9-8 or 8-9. We know that for sure. Okay.
That is for sure.
Next topic, edge rusher, Trey Hendrickson. You also are a Bengal fan. Let's talk about him. Okay. He had an injury-plagued season, limited him to just 7 games, but he is by far the best edge rusher available in free agency. despite being 31 years old. If the Bengals don't re-sign or franchise him, they will receive a late third round compensatory pick in the 2027 draft. The franchise tag for edge rusher is projected to be $35 million on a 1-year deal.
Whew.
Obviously, yep, $35 million. We'll see. That's just a projection. The Bengals do have room under the cap to afford that, so they can afford it. That's not an issue. If you are the Bengals, Mike, would you franchise Hendrickson?
For $35 million on a 31-year-old edge rusher who was injured half the season last year?
When he plays, he's very good. Very good.
I know. I like Trey. As a fan of that team, I like him a lot. Again, I'm not gonna franchise tag him. I'm going to take my chance with some of these guys in the draft because you've said it 2 or 3 times now. It's a pretty good draft for his position. So
it is. It is. It's pretty deep at edge rusher. Mm-hmm.
I think you could get 2 pretty good edge rushers, like a first round and a 3rd or 4th round pick, and get one for each side. Shoot, I'll throw this out there because I believe he's 29 years old. I think I'd rather give up more for Max Crosby than I would to franchise tag Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, Max Crosby, we'll see what happens with him, but he is 2 years younger, but you have to give up a lot to get him. If the Raiders trade him, they're going to ask for a lot. So, okay. Well, did you hear this rumor? And do you believe it? That the Bengals, if they franchise him, it's called tag and trade. You tag him and then try to trade him. They may only get a 3rd round pick this year at best. Did you see that rumor, and do you believe it?
I don't believe that. That's insane. He's better than that.
He is 31, coming off an injury, and you have to pay him. That's the thing, is you have to pay him as well.
Right. You have to. So when you're saying tag, so the team that gets him in the trade has to pay him the tagged amount?
No, they have to pay him a new contract, just a big new contract.
So they could sign him to a 1-year, $20 million, and as long as Trey says yes to that, everything's good to go.
Well, he won't. He's going to want a long-term deal. So the team would give up a 3rd round pick, right, and then sign him to like a 3 or 4 year deal, whatever it is. They'd agree to a term, and then it'd be a swap. It's called tag and trade, and that way the Bengals, instead of getting a 3rd round compensatory pick in 2027, they'll get a pick this year, a higher pick. But if you're getting a 3rd rounder this year, that's your best offer. I'd rather just keep him for a year on the franchise tag and then let him run next year, because I would want it. I mean, would you take a 2nd rounder for him, or would you want more than that?
I'd probably take the 2nd rounder if it means I got $35 more million to spend. I'd go out and try to get something somewhere else.
So if a team offered you like the 48th pick, you take that and just keep the cap room?
Yeah, and then I'd try to sign Chubb.
Okay.
I mean, there's a drop off between Hendrickson and Chubb.
Bradley Chubb got released by the Miami Dolphins. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'd go that route. I mean, like I said, I know we were talking over top of each other there, but there's a drop off between Chubb and Hendrickson, and I'm not denying that. But you're also not going to pay him $35 million either.
Not even close. Not at this point. Okay. Well, there are 4 outcomes that I see. If there's an extra one, let me know. What do you think is the most likely? They let Hendrickson walk in free agency without tagging him. The second one is they tag him, keep him for 1 more year, and then let him leave next season. The third one is they tag and trade, which we talked about. They tag him and then trade him to another team. Or number 4, which no one's talking about, they sign him to a long-term extension. Of those 4, what do you think is the most likely outcome?
I want to say they sign him to a long-term extension, but I know this team pretty well. So no. I mean, Burrow and some of the other guys are putting some pressure on the team to sign some veterans and sign them long-term and, get them protection. But I don't think they're going to do it with Trey, because I just have a feeling that last year really burnt bridges on both ends. I don't think those bridges are able to be mended back together again. So I'm going to say that they're going to let him walk in free agency and be done with it.
Okay. I'm thinking they try to tag and trade. I think they're going to tag him. I really do. Because it's the Bengals. They don't want to just, let people have their way. They have to do something. So I think they're
That's
going to
true too.
franchise tag. Okay. Last topic for football before we do the lights out list, which is the top 10 AFC quarterbacks. We did NFC last week. Oh,
All right,
we
so
have a
hang
comment.
on. Yeah. I've been doing a couple other things, so I didn't look at the comments. I apologize.
Particularly quarter. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was actually, as much as I hate it, wanted to sign with the Vikings. They were not interested at all. They did not want to sign him. I think they knew that if they did, they pretty much had pressure to play him. Oh man, Mike, you want to take that one? That's your team. I think they're very different situations, but go ahead, Mike.
It is a very different situation, or at least I hope it is. I'm going to say no. I don't think Burrow's going to leave. Burrow's getting paid a lot of money. Um, he's got two really good receivers there, so I think he thinks that he always has a chance. Unlike Carson Palmer, who thought he never had a chance, and he was probably right. He really didn't have a chance to do much of anything there. And he thought his talents were better suited somewhere else, so he chose somewhere else. I'm not sure if, I guess if Burrow could go to, I don't know, like, after Stafford leaves and Burrow could go to LA or something like that, then maybe he consider something like that. But I don't think there's a whole lot of spots that he can go where he's going to have a chance year in and year out like he does right now with the Bengals. So I think he'll stay at least for the next 3 to 4 years. I think he'll stay.
The Stafford golf trade is unique. It's rare you have quarterback trades and picks. I'll say this. The only way he's traded is if they change the rule, you can trade more than 3 years in the future. Because the Bengals are going to want more than 3 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. If they end up deciding to trade him, they're going to ask for 5 and more. 5 first-round picks. They will. And I don't think that's enough. There's no value on franchise quarterback. Somebody talked about it when Andrew Luck, when the Colts had the first pick. Now, Luck ended up retiring early, but someone said if you could trade the next 10 first-round picks, a team would do it. If they could, they would have offered the Colts the next 10 picks just to get a franchise quarterback, and they would have done it. And the Colts would have said no. They probably would have said no because it's so hard to find a elite quarterback. All right. Last topic, Tyreek Hill. We talked about Bradley Chubb. He was released by the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill was also released by the Dolphins. He's about to be 32 years old. He's coming off a major knee injury. On top of that, he has a very long list of off-the-field incidences. Assuming, Mike, he's 100% healthy. Only got one question with this segment. Assuming he's 100% healthy in time for training camp, and you are a team that desperately needs a wide receiver, are you calling his agent Drew Rosenhaus to try to sign him?
Ooh, am I that desperate? That's kind of the question here, right?
He used to be elite. He's still good. He's not as good as he used to be. He's still a very good player, though. What do you think? Is it worth it?
So I think in order for a team, I won't get to specific teams, but I think in order for a team to have to call Drew for his services, they have to already have a number one, and Hill has to come in as the really good number two. And I'll tell you the team, now that I'm kind of thinking about it, the team that kind of has this sort of reputation anyway, and it probably wouldn't phase any of those people, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has DK, and then they could come in and they could get Hill and put him on there. Now, whether he'd go there with the quarterback situation they have right now, I don't know. But they need a number two, and they've got some other pieces to where they made the playoffs. So if they get a number two receiver in there, then I can see it working out for them. And like I say, they kind of have that bad boy type reputation anyway. So I don't think the fans would be upset if they brought in Tyreek Hill.
It's funny you mentioned Steelers. I was thinking another team in the division. Why they have no trouble getting bad boys. Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens too. Yep.
Zay Flowers. They need someone else besides him. They really do. And Rashad Bateman, that contract has been pretty bad. But what about this? Thought of another team. This team. Can you imagine him next to Jackson Smith and Jigba? Can you imagine that offense? Holy crap.
Yeah. You'd have the deep guy and the guy underneath, right? You could literally like layer the receivers every play.
Oof, Sam Darnold would be very happy, but he is the thing with Tyreek Hill. I don't think I'm doing it. I don't think I'm doing it no matter what. There's always something with him. There's like a bunch of baby mamas, and he's been arrested before. There's just always something with him. I think he's just got really poor judgment. There's just always something. So, and that's assuming he's healthy. We don't know. He might lose his speed coming off this major knee injury. Okay. And that concludes
your question didn't say assuming that he's 100% healthy. So that's what I was assuming. Okay.
Right. Exactly. All right. I'm looking forward to this AFC. Of course, our lists will be very different. They always are.
Always are. All right, buddy. So let me start the music in the background a little bit ahead of time, because it seems as though when you start talking, it really messes up with your mic. I don't know if they run off the same channel. I'm not sure. So let me go ahead and start this in the background. This is our lights out list, of course. This is how we're going to end the show today. Looks like we might get this show in within 2 hours, buddy. Look at that. I say that. Watch, we'll go 2.5 now. All right. Got my list happen right here.
You know this to be true.
Yes. Got my list right there. AFC quarterbacks right now. Where would we rank them starting 10 to 1? Who wants to go first, buddy? You or me?
Go ahead.
All right. Now, I do believe that this quarterback will be much improved this coming season because he now has a really good offensive coordinator. I think both of us are kind of looking. Did your eyes just get weird right there?
I'm trying to think who it is. I'm trying to think.
I'm surprised you don't know who it is yet. So
is it known for country music?
No.
Okay. I don't know.
they've got McDaniel now over there in San Diego, and I do think he'll be improved this upcoming season. But I do not, and I have not seen anything from this guy that gets me higher than 10 for him. He can be an elite quarterback, but he's just never shown it. And he's often injured. And, I know Cheese is going to say, he doesn't have a line, Mike. He doesn't have a line. He's running for his life. Okay. So's Josh Allen, and he's much higher on this board than what Justin Herbert is. So I put Justin Herbert, San Diego Chargers, all the way down at number 10.
More on him much later. Mike.
Okay.
All right, I'll talk about it when we get there.
All right.
My number 10 is Daniel Jones of the Indianapolis Colts. I know he had a good year, at least started good. Started falling apart, though. Right? Started falling apart right before he got hurt. There were people talking about him being MVP, and I'm like, he has so many weapons in the Colts probably have the best offense in the league. The 10 people that aren't the quarterback. That's how good their offense is. So I think people give him a little too much credit. I still made him number 10. He's, still was having a good year, but I just couldn't put him higher than 10. Just like you said, you couldn't put yours higher than 10. Yeah, Daniel Jones, Colts.
All right, well, Daniel Jones is not on this list for me.
Okay.
So
I
couldn't put him even in the top 10.
Okay.
This guy, I believe in him. I really, really do. I like him. He's an Ohio State Buckeye. I really want to see him do well. But in all fairness, he has regressed the last 2 seasons. So I can't do anything but put him down towards the bottom of this. CJ Stroud, 16 games, a 62.5% percentage. 3,503 passing yards, pretty good. 7 yards per attempt, 21 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and this year only 220 rushing yards and only 1 rushing touchdown and 7 fumbles. He has regressed, and I hate to do this to him, but I had to be fair to everybody else. CJ Stroud for me is number 9.
It looks so bad in the playoffs. He's gotten worse each year. He went from being like one of the most amazing rookie seasons ever, and I have him. He would have been 11, but I didn't have him on my top 10, and I would have had him as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL last 2 years. I would have.
Yes.
And I don't know if he's top 20. If I did a top 20 list right now, I didn't have him, so I get it. My number 9 is probably most people have him higher, but He had about a 6-7 game stretch in 2023. He looked great. Okay. Former number 1 overall pick. And then he had a stretch this year where he looked great and then made some mistakes in the playoffs. And that's Trevor Lawrence, the Jaguars. I just can't buy him yet. He's had stretches. When they got Jacoby Myers, it really helped. Parker Washington stepped up. I just want to see it for a whole season. We've never seen him play a great season from week 1 to week 17. So I need to see that before I put him any higher. Trevor Lawrence, number 9 of the Jaguars.
All right. Well, just like I said, C.J. Stroud is going down in this countdown. As I really got to looking at his numbers, I was like, wow, I think maybe you put him too high, Mike. Maybe you shouldn't even have put him in there. Maybe you should have put Daniel Jones in this thing instead of him. This guy in 17 games, 59.8%, 3,169 passing yards, 5.9 per attempt, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 159 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 11 fumbles. But he's young, and he's going in the right direction. So I put Cam Ward at number 8 above C.J. Stroud and Justin Herbert.
I didn't have him in the top 10 because he's just an unknown. It's just such an unknown. It's tough to know what you have in him with the Titans. They need more help on offense. So the fact he only threw 7 interceptions actually is impressive. Maybe I should have put him in the top 10. All right. My number 8 is Aaron Rodgers of the Pittsburgh Steelers. What can I say? He can still sling it. He's still got a great arm. Still doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Some people might not put them in the top 10, but you know what? He only had DK Metcalf. He didn't really have any other really good weapons that could stretch the field. And his numbers look good. Just couldn't put him higher because I just think there's 7 better right now. I hope he plays one more year. But yeah, number 8 for me is Aaron Rodgers.
All right. I did not have Aaron Rodgers in the top 10.
Okay. I get it.
Cheese, can you see the questions?
Let's see.
Look at the comments, and we got some questions over there. So kind of look at those and decide as well.
Yes,
I
see it. We got Jaguars fan. Yes. I can see them now.
Okay. So we'll decide if we want to do them all here in a moment, but we'll do our top 10 and keep going on that, and then we'll get to those here in just a few minutes.
Jaguars fan 44-44. We will do the finished top 10, and we will go over that right real quick at the end. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic. So just take a look at them, and you're more the football guy than me. So I got Herbert, Stroud, Ward, and now my number 7 guy. Some people are about to be really, really upset at these next 2 picks. I can guarantee it. My X account is at All Gloves Off SM. Go ahead. You may as well just do it now. Or if you're over on YouTube, go ahead, put the comments up there. I will defend myself all day long with these 2 picks because, we'll just say.
You want to do them back to back? I can do my next 2 back to back. Or do you want?
Okay, that's fine. We can do that. That's a little different. We'll go back to back here. So 7 and 6. 7, 18 games, 62.9%, 42-10 as far as passing yards, only 6.4 per attempt. He did have 28 touchdowns, but he also had 12 interceptions and 5 fumbles, 385 rushing yards, but only 5 rushing touchdowns. He is going in the right direction, but I thought he could have gone better this year. He didn't improve as much as I thought he would from year 1 to year 2. Bo Nix for me is number 7 in this top 10 of the AFC quarterbacks. Now, that might not get me in as much trouble as the next one does. Here, let me make sure here we go. There he is. So 14 games is all he played this year because of injury. 62.7%. This is one of the reasons why we said this year, by the way, 14 games right away kind of knocks him down a little bit. 3,587 passing yards, 7.1 attempts, 22 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. So barely twice, 11 interceptions, 22 passes. It's kind of like in baseball when you want to see at least twice the strikeouts that you do walks. I want to see more than twice. So that's another reason why I put him down. 422 rushing yards, but again, only 5 touchdowns and 3 fumbles. Patrick Mahomes is number 6 in the AFC top 10 countdown. Patrick Mahomes 6. So Herbert, Stroud, Ward, Bo Nix. Patrick Mahomes is number 6, not even in my top 5. Cheese,
Okay.
go ahead and do yours back to back, and let's see how many people you can piss off.
I'm going to piss someone off with 6 probably, but my number 7 is the same as yours, Bo Nix of the Denver Broncos. I think it was kind of the easy 7. I had the 6, and then I had Bo Nix, and then everyone else. I think that was kind of my list. But yeah, Bo Nix, it's a shame he got hurt. I wanted to see him against New England. I really wanted to see that matchup with May. It sucks. Sucks for the fans. I know you hated watching that game. Yeah, but Bo Nix, I think he's getting better. I still think he could use, another weapon, either a running back or a receiver, maybe a tight end, just another playmaker besides Cortland Sutton. But yeah, Bo Nix, I think you're like I said, right direction. We'll see what happens off season. They get him a little more help. My number 6, I had to take the playoffs into consideration, and I'm a little worried about him. And that's Drake May of the New England Patriots. He was second in the MVP, almost won it, and I have him as the 6th best in the AFC. But when pressure got to him, he just really struggled. He played the easiest schedule in the NFL, won 14 games, but then when he went against 4 of the best 5 defenses, that's the teams he played in the postseason, he didn't play well in any of the games. Despite winning 3 of them, he did not play well in any of those games. And I get it. He's great. He had an amazing season. The talent's there, and I think he's going to be very good. I'm just if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm a little worried because when he went up against best competition, he failed. Now they've got to improve the offensive line, no doubt about it. But I just couldn't put him higher than 6. So I have Daniel Jones 10, Trevor Lawrence 9, Aaron Rodgers 8, Bo Nix 7, Drake May 5. And Drake May 6. Who is your number 5?
All right. I was doing a couple other things. Hang on, I'm looking for his stats real quick as I go down this. The more and more I go down this list, and then I'm like, wow, maybe I put this guy in the wrong spot here. Where in the world?
You looked at stats. I just did the eye test. I didn't even look. I just did it in my head.
Right. So I'll tell you what. Let me put this question up here, Cheese. You read the. Never mind. I got it. Okay. So. Getting everything squared away, putting together up here. Hang on, I got to do this.
I can answer one of them if you need to.
Yeah, no, we're good. And I forgot where I was. It happens to me a lot. Don't worry about it, buddy. It's just it's not supposed to happen live on the air, but that's okay. So our Jaguars fan 44 says I'm a big Jags fan. I like Lawrence, but he does need to be a little bit more consistent. This is first off season not needing surgery or not in rehab, so hopefully he'll get a bit better. I do like that ending part to it. I put that up there because for me, I have gone Herbert, Stroud, Ward, Nix, Mahomes. I put Trevor Lawrence as the number 5 quarterback.
Wow,
18 games. Yeah, 18 games, 60.8 percentage. Here's one of the reasons why. 4,214 passing yards and over 7 yards per attempt. He threw 32 touchdown passes and only 14 interceptions. That's a big number there. And he gave you almost 400 rushing yards, which is 390. So, not only did he do that, but he rushed at the right times, obviously, because he has the most rushing touchdowns of any quarterback on this list. 9 rushing touchdowns for Trevor Lawrence as well. So over 4,200 passing yards, over 30 TDs, and a ton of rushing yards and 9 rushing touchdowns. So because of all of those things, I put Trevor Lawrence at number 5.
Here's the thing, though. One thing about Trevor Lawrence that's always kind of annoyed me is it seems like he puts his receivers in harm's way. They take hits they shouldn't.
Especially over the middle.
Yeah, it just seems like there's a way to do it. Like Peyton Manning never did that. Like he didn't. His receivers he would throw balls and make sure receivers didn't take those big hits. So I think he just needs to improve on that. My number 5, you already mentioned him. I'm going to offend this guy all day long. We totally disagree on him. Is Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't think you could possibly have a worse offensive line than what Justin Herbert had this year. He has 2 very good tackles. They both got hurt, and the interior was dog shit. So you have a weakness at all 5 spots. He was running for his life. There's honestly, he should, if you look at his stats, I don't have them in front of me, but I'm sure they're not terrible. He should have the worst stats. He should be the worst quarterback in the NFL with that offensive line. He should be awful. And the fact that he actually put up decent stats, the fact that he got to the playoffs is incredible. Give him an offensive line. Give him time to throw. I'm telling you, this dude is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. It is unknown because he's never had a good O-line, but I really like Justin Herbert, and I put him number 5.
Okay, so let me help you. He's in year 6, all right, with the Chargers. This year, Justin Herbert, 17 games, 66.1% of completions. He only had 38.86 passing yards, so didn't get to that 4,000 plateau. 7.2 yards an attempt. Only had 26 passes, 13 interceptions. He did have 555 rushing yards, but he's running for his life. So,
he's very good at scrambling. He is very good.
He is good at scrambling. But with that 555, he only had 2 touchdowns, and he also had 9 fumbles. So the 9 fumbles at the end was one of the things that put him down with me. He didn't get to the 4,000-yard plateau, and then he only had 2 rushing touchdowns. So that's kind of where I was at defending my side of it by putting him at number 10 on my list, and you put him at 4 or 5?
5. Yeah, I mean, he's going to fumble when he's getting hit all the time. So, yeah.
Well, he knows it's coming. He should cradle the ball. Anyway.
Okay.
So Herbert, Stroud, Ward, Nix, Mahomes, Lawrence. Number 4 for me was just in the Super Bowl, Drake May. 21 games, 69.3%. He got 5,222 passing yards. Let me say that again, 5,222 passing yards with half of his receiving core. Nobody knows who the heck they are. 8.5 yards per attempt, the highest of anyone in this countdown. 37 passing touchdowns and only 12 interceptions. And he also rushed for 628 yards and 5 touchdowns. But the big knock on him, if I'm going to say it's a knock about everybody else, it's the reason why he's not in my top 3, because he had 5,222 yards and 37 touchdowns, yet he's number 4. The reason is because he lost 15 fumbles. So Drake May, for me, number 4.
Way too many turnovers in the postseason.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, my number 4, you mentioned him already, is Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs. Hasn't had as much help. Offensive line's been bad. His play has dropped. There's no doubt about it. I think he's still very good. He's still very good. It's still Patrick Mahomes, but yeah, I don't know what to do with him because he's just not as good as he used to be. How much of it is the offensive line? How much of it is not having Tyreek Hill? Travis Kelce getting up there, but I could not put him lower than 4. I wanted to, I tried to, I just couldn't. But he's still Patrick Mahomes, so because of that, I put him at number 4.
All right. Here's the other guy that I think is going the wrong way, but I still couldn't put him less than 3 because I didn't think there was any other people that were above him consistently. He's in year 8, so that really helped his case. He only played 13 games this year, 63.6%. He only passed for 2,549 yards. He did have 8.4 yards per attempt. He still threw 21 touchdowns, which again bumped him up a little bit. Only 7 interceptions, 349 rushing touchdowns, 349 rushing yards. Well, it'd be a lot if he got that many touchdowns. Two rushing touchdowns and 7 fumbles. So for me, number 3, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens.
We have the same top 3. We'll see if it's the same order. Well, I mean, it's very possible. My number 3 is also Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, he threw 41 touchdowns last year. Only, like I said, only 21 this year. He, was injured. He had a bad back, and so there are some people I've seen some lists not even put him top 10. I think that's insane because he went from being like top 3 to just dropping that. No, he had a bad back. We'll see if he recovers from that. He's still really good. He hasn't been as good in his career in the postseason. That has been the biggest knock on him to me. That's really the main knock. But I love watching Lamar. He's such a good dual threat. Just needs to get healthy. And he'll be, once again, an MVP candidate. But, yeah, like I said, the back. Once you start having back issues, it could be bad. But, yeah, number 3, Lamar Jackson.
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now.
We'll see with the same order. Go ahead.
I had a really, really, really hard time with these 2.
Me too.
I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I couldn't figure out who was at 1, who was at 2. Am I going to be the homer and put my guy in the first spot, even though I kind of think he deserves it? So here we go. I ended up putting Joe Burrow at number 2.
Okay.
I decided to do it this way because of this. He only played in 8 games. He did have some really good numbers for 8 games, though. 1,809 passing yards, 7 per attempt. He threw 17 touchdowns in 8 games, and he only threw 5 interceptions. But the rest of it's pretty much 0. He only had 41 rushing yards, so that's pretty much 0. He had no rushing touchdowns, but he also didn't fumble the ball. So I came I teetered back and forth and back and forth on this one. Joe Burrow for me, number 2.
Can't believe he didn't have a single fumble.
He did not.
Wow. That's crazy. 41 rushing yards. That's like usually just you can scramble into like double that in 8 games. That's crazy. Yeah. Same thing. It was tough, but I had to put Burrow number 2. Here's the thing with Joe Burrow. 17-game season. Well, okay. I watched all 8 of his games. Some of them I watched twice. That Baltimore Raven game, he was horrible. He was absolutely horrible. Well, I think they were shut out. So those other 7 games, he was great. He was great in those 7 games. That one game against Baltimore, it would look like he was trying to tank. I don't know. But no, Burrow is amazing. I think he's the best passer. I think he handles the pressure well as any quarterback. But the fact that he just doesn't get you any running yards, doesn't rush for touchdowns, just puts the next guy over the top. And like you said, you could probably, flip them 1-2. You have to go with the guy who's number 1 on both our lists just because he gets so many more yards with his legs. But yeah, number 2, Joe Burrow is such an amazing passer.
All right, so that means we're both going to have the same number 1. I'll do the stats. You can do the eye test, all right? Okay. So it's Josh Allen, 19 games, 69.7 completion percentage, 4,224 yards. I honestly thought he would have more than that. 7.9 yards per attempt, 29 touchdowns with only 12 interceptions. And here's what made him number 1 for me. This is what did it. 678 rushing yards and 16 rushing touchdowns.
Crazy, right?
He did have 10 fumbles, but 678 and 16 put him over the top for me and put him right at number 1. So give us your eye test on Josh Allen, Cheese.
Yeah, well, my number 10 was Daniel Jones of the Colts. Number 9, Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars. 8, Aaron Rodgers, Steelers. 7, Bo Nix, Broncos. 6, Drake May, Patriots. 5, Justin Herbert, Chargers. 4, Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson is number 3 of the Ravens. Number 2, Joe Burrow, Bengals. Josh Allen, number 1. Like I said, the ability, the dual threat that he gives you. The fact that he's hard to bring down. And he actually wasn't as good this year as the previous year where he won the MVP. He took more sacks. He had more fumbles. I think he held the ball too long. But here's why. His receiving core sucks. It absolutely sucks. Khalil Shakir, his slot receiver, is probably a decent number 3. The rest of them shouldn't even be in the league or be on a practice squad. His receiving core, he's got good tight ends, but his receivers are terrible. Brandon Beane won't get him good receivers. Traded away Stephon Diggs. I get why. Never replaced it. And the fact that he puts up those numbers with these receivers, no wonder he's running around taking sacks. No one's open. No one's separating. And he still got them the second round of the playoffs with let's be honest, it's not a very good roster. Overall, it really isn't. So he gets so much blame because of the playoff success, and it's just not his fault. And I made a whole video. Make sure you check out my channel. You can search it, Josh Allen. Made a video last week all about it and how the media and the Bills have been so unfair to him. So yeah, number 1. If I was doing a list right now, I put him number 1 best quarterback in the entire NFL, even ahead of Matthew Stafford. I would. So there you go.
That's interesting. All right, so we got Jaguars fan 44 that just joined up with it. So got a couple questions. Both Devin Lloyd and Travis Etienne won't be back for the Jaguars. Where do you see him going, sir? I'll take Etienne because I think I know where he's going. Okay. I think the Arizona Cardinals need a running back, and they're going to pick him up in free agency. I'll let you take Devin Lloyd. What do you think about that?
Just want to say this. What a great fit Etienne would be in Denver. Just saying.
It's true.
That might put them over the top. Next level. Devin Lloyd. God, a lot of teams need a linebacker like that. I'm doing it. Green Bay Packers. Let's go get him. We need a middle linebacker. Go get him. Green Bay. I want him so bad. He's so good. But there are a few teams. Devin Lloyd. I hate to say this, but Chicago would be a really good fit. Chicago Bears as well. They're going to release Tremaine Edmonds, so they could use middle linebacker. How do you think the Texans offense will perform? There's so many factors in that question. I could talk for 20 minutes, so I'm going to give you 30 seconds here. They need to improve a couple spots of the offensive line, and they need to get Stroud, maybe another weapon. They have some young guys there, but Stroud, it depends on the offensive line, and Stroud's got to be better. He has to play better, and the offensive line has to be better. Anything you want to add to that, Mike?
No, I mean, no. I think you said it best. Well, we'll kind of.
It could be good. It could be bad. I don't know.
Right. I'm not trying to be mean to Jaguars fan 44, but you come on at the end and you throw all these questions at us. Don't expect us to go through a big long analysis for you. Okay.
I'll say this: at best, it's the third best offense at best in the division, unless the Titans take a big step. I'll say that.
Okay. All right. So, again, Jaguars fan asked about the top 3 weaknesses of the Chicago Bears. I'm thinking Cheese is going to say there's more than 3, but, hey, what you got, buddy?
Left tackle, edge rusher, and defensive tackle. Yeah. Quarterback. Sorry, quarterback.
I knew you'd throw that in there at the end. That was good. That was good. So, I'm, I don't watch
their front seven.
I don't watch the teams that give you that great of an analysis on all that stuff. So that's why I got Cheese up here, buddy. That's why he's here. So
they were 25th, I think, in total defense, and the secondary is pretty good. They got some pieces in the secondary, but the front seven was disappointing. They need a lot of front seven help if they want to take the next step.
And I appreciate you being understanding, Jaguars fan 44. I really do. Thank you for coming on and putting the questions up here. We do appreciate the question. That wasn't a knock on you. That's just, we said about 30 minutes ago, hey, we're going to get this thing done and in under two hours. And so,
quarterbacks, we had to talk quarterbacks. So
that's true.
Yeah. And next week, Mike says we're doing the best top 10 best long snappers. Is that correct?
Long snappers and punters. Yes.
But top 10 best assistant special teams coordinators.
There we go.
Now we'll figure something out. If you guys want to suggest something, you can do it here. You can do it on X for our top 10 list. We're always open to suggestions.
Absolutely.
As well. Because, off season can be a little trickier to find the top 10. Very easy during this season. Especially
right. We'll have to do some other positions, I believe. And then we're also going to start getting into some of the baseball stuff too. So
exactly.
Position by position with those as well. So those are great things to do on the top 10 list. We can agree to disagree without getting into a big fight about it. So it's great. All right, guys. Hey, thank you guys for being on with us. 2 hours and 10 minutes, maybe we'll get it done. So yeah, you're swinging over there at me. I see you.
You better put Alex Bregman.
Anything you want to add at the end of the show, Cheese?
Yeah, you better put Alex Bregman top 3 third baseman, or we're gonna.
Okay. So maybe we'll just do that next week. You want to just go ahead and announce it now? Top 10 third baseman next week?
Third baseman in MLB? Let's do it.
Okay.
Our list will be so different.
They will.
Top 10 third baseman.
And I can't wait to do it because I'm thinking already that there's probably going to be a couple on my list. And cheers to you, sir. There's probably going to be a couple on my list that won't be on yours. So, yeah. Excellent. Top 10 third baseman in Major League Baseball next week, right here on the Lights Out Sports podcast.
Is Eugenio Suarez, is he a third baseman now?
Eugenio Suarez is a third baseman, yes.
He still is. Okay. All right. Well, then, that's good to know.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. All right, buddy. Thank you all very much. And again, to our fans, thank you guys very much. Go see Football with Cheese over on YouTube. You can get him on X as well. And I'll just let you do it. What are your spots, buddy?
Yeah, at Football with Cheese. Cheese is CHEEZ, like you see on the screen. And my X account is Football Cheese without the with. They don't let you have that long a handle, so it's just Football Cheese. So make sure you follow me, and I'll follow you back. Just make sure. If I don't get notifications half the time. I don't know why. Just DM me, let me know, and then YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Football with Cheese. And I have a video coming tomorrow about the Packers special teams coach stepping down. Thank God. And I have a video Thursday about what I call the Seahawks effect, what the Seahawks did right, and why all these teams in the draft and free agency are going to try to emulate the Seahawks because they just won the Super Bowl.
All right. So I'm going to make a few videos this week as well, and seeing the whole field. Be 3 baseball related videos. I know one of them will be on Alex Vesia with the Los Angeles Dodgers and what he had to go through. This one will be a hard one for me to do because we almost lost our daughter along 30 some years ago as well, and kind of the same thing, but she's still with us. So I got lucky, and Alex and his wife didn't. So I'll make it a little personal, but I'll also talk about him and the Dodgers and what all happened there, and what you guys should do as fans, and how you can support him and all the other players that have tragedy strike them. I mean, they might be multimillionaires, but tragedy can still humble you in the deepest of ways. So we'll talk about that sometime this week on Seeing the Whole Field. All right, Cheese, once again, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, fans, for staying with us, whether you're on X, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're with us on YouTube or Facebook. You can also catch us on audio-only platforms let's see, what are those? Apple and Spotify. There we go. That's what they're called.
There you go.
So we got a lot of stuff going on right at the moment, and make sure you check out our other podcasts here on All Gloves Off Sports Media. You'll be able to see them in a moment. So anything you want to add to the end, sir?
No, I guess I'm going to make some steak quesadillas. I'm really looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I got conies to look forward to, so I'm liking those as well. So I love me some conies. We're getting into good baseball stuff.
Next week, Combine. The Combine is next week. Mike, look at his face. He's so excited. Can't contain himself.
I can't. It is so exciting for the Combine.
I love the Combine. I can't wait.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it a lot then. Maybe you can convince me to like it a little more.
There you go. College Football segment. We talk about the Combine. There we go.
I like it. All right, buddy. I'll see you next week, same time, same place, as I will all of our great fans. Thank you all for listening. Have a great night. And as we always say at the end of these broadcasts, the only thing that's fair in life is a baseball hit between the third and first base lines. Good evening, everyone.